Chapter 1426. Kid, are you teaching me a lesson? Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, Pang Hong was stunned. He raised his head with a sneer and said, I don't mind telling you that in Ghost Luo City, it has always been Pang Hong teaching others a lesson. No one has ever taught me a lesson. That's because I didn't come, Emo Qingyun replied indifferently. His gaze towards Pang Hong was filled with disdain. This Pang Hong was only at the immortal core stage, but his tone was so arrogant. If one didn't know his background and heard his tone, one would think that he was a golden immortal stage expert. Kid, in the past there were many people like you who spoke to me in such a tone. Do you want to know what happened to them? Hearing Emo Qingyun's offensive words, Pang Hong immediately revealed a sinister smile, and his expression gradually became ferocious. Tell me. Emo Qingyun looked at Pang Hong calmly, and the mockery in his eyes deepened. Later, those people who talked back to me all had their limbs cut off and were dragged out of the city to feed the dogs. Pang Hong showed a proud smile, showing off his past deeds, and sneered at Emo Qingyun. Next, you will be like those people, cut off and fed to the dogs. You won't have the chance. After hearing Pang Hong's words, Emo Qingyun raised his hand and reached for him, exploding with a terrifying immortal spiritual energy. Under the cover of this immortal spiritual energy, Pang Hong's body was lifted up, and his neck was tightly gripped by the immortal spiritual energy. Facing Emo Qingyun's sudden attack, Pang Hong immediately revealed a panicked expression and seemed to be at a loss. Brother Emo, Pang Hong's background is not simple. Don't kill him. Seeing Emo Qingyun attack Pang Hong, Gui Yuemin's expression immediately tensed up, and he quickly reminded Emo Qingyun. Gui Yuemin was very clear about Pang Hong's background. He was one of the strongest direct descendants of the Pang family in Ghost Luo City. More importantly, Pang Hong's sister was married to a constellation elder of the East Dawn Immortal Palace. It was because of the protection of this constellation elder that Pang Hong dared to be so arrogant and look down on everyone. Therefore, although Gui Yuemin was not afraid of Pang Hong, he did not dare to kill him. From Emo Qingyun's current actions, it was clear that he wanted to kill Pang Hong. Once Emo Qingyun kills Pang Hong, not only will it bring trouble to Emo Qingyun, it will also bring trouble to the Ghost Moon family. For both public and private reasons, Gui Yuemin wanted to stop Emo Qingyun from killing Pang Hong. Seeing Gui Yuemin trying to persuade Emo Qingyun, Pang Hong sneered proudly and said with an expression that deserved a beating, Brat, I might as well tell you that there was a person like you who captured this young master. Guess what happened in the end? What was the result? Emo Qingyun chuckled, but he was not in a hurry to make a move. In the end, not only did that guy let me go, he even gave his woman to me to enjoy and begged me to spare his family. Thinking back to his awesome deeds from back then, the proud smile on Pang Hong's face immediately became wider. He said again, Kid, if you send Zhang Sun Chuxin to my residence right now, then kneel in front of my residence for 3 days and admit your mistake, I will forgive your current offense. You're wrong about one thing, I'm not that person. Hearing Pang Hong's words, Emo Qingyun's expression gradually turned cold, and his body emitted a chilling aura. Immediately, Emo Qingyun exerted strength in his hands and directly attacked Pang Hong. Crack, 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 under Emo Qingyun's continuous attacks, the crisp sound of bones cracking came from Pang Hong's body. Soon, Pang Hong turned into a pile of mud, looking at Emo Qingyun with a terrified expression. He never thought that Emo Qingyun would dare to attack him like this after learning of his deeds. After Emo Qingyun destroyed Pang Hong's body, he looked at the mud-like Pang Hong with a cold expression and said, Seeing that you redeemed Miss Chuxin's freedom, I will spare your life today. If you don't know what's good for you, I don't mind destroying your soul. Brat, I'm not scared. You want to scare me? No way. Seeing that his body had been destroyed by Emo Qingyun, Pang Hong's expression turned hideous, and he shouted angrily at the people beside him. What are you all still standing there for? Hurry up and kill this brat. Hearing Pang Hong's angry roar, his followers did not dare to hesitate and hurriedly charged at Mo Qingyun. Scram! Seeing the people charging at him, Mo Qingyun's expression was cold as he shouted angrily, and a wave of soul power exploded from his left eye. This wave of soul power rushed out and turned into soul chains, smashing into these people's sea of consciousness domineeringly. After being hit by Mo Qingyun's soul attack, these people immediately became sluggish on the spot, becoming like statues. After releasing the soul prison to imprison these people's souls, Mo Qingyun took out the immortal burning halberd. Then, Mo Qingyun swept the halberd towards these people, blasting out a terrifying wave of immortal spiritual energy. Bang, bang, bang! Under the bombardment of Mo Qingyun's halberd, the bodies of these people were instantly blasted apart, turning into clouds of bloody mist. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people's eyes widened, and they could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. Too terrifying, too domineering! With just a glance and a sweep of the halberd, he destroyed several immortal infant stage experts. This method was too domineering. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Pang Hong's expression immediately trembled, and his fear of Mo Qingyun reached its peak. This guy was ruthless, and he could not be scared. If he continued to act tough and angered Mo Qingyun, perhaps Mo Qingyun would really kill him. Thinking of this, Pang Hong's expression was filled with fear, and he did not dare to be arrogant in front of Mo Qingyun. This is the last time. If there is a next time, I will not be merciful. Mo Qingyun's expression was cold. After glancing at Pang Hong, he said to Gui Yuemin and Pang Hong, "Let's go." As soon as he finished speaking, Mo Qingyun walked out of Jun Wanlu, leaving behind a group of dumbstruck people. The reason why Mo Qingyun did not kill Pang Hong was not because he was afraid of revenge from the people behind Pang Hong. Instead, he thought that if he killed Pang Hong, the Pang family would not be able to find him for revenge, and would take their anger out on Gui Yuemin. Although he did not know Gui Yuemin well, he had a good impression of Gui Yuemin, and did not want him to be blamed. Seeing Mo Qingyun and the others leave, Aunt Lan Yi immediately gave a young man a look, asking him to go to the Pang family to report. After asking someone to report to the Pang family, Aunt Lan Yi helped Pang Hong up and let him rest in the Wanjun restaurant. "Boy, you dare to destroy my body, I will cut you into pieces." Pang Hong was lying on a chair with a ferocious expression. He gritted his teeth and roared, "And Gui Yuemin and that bitch Zhang Sun Chuxin, I will take care of them together." Now that his body was destroyed, if he did not have any elixirs, he could only take over another body to cultivate again. Chapter 1427. A few moments later, a large group of people arrived at restaurant Wanjun. Their faces are ashen to the extreme. These people are the people in charge of the Pang family. "Father, Patriarch, you must avenge me." Seeing these people arrive, Pang Hong immediately shows a pleading expression, begging these people to deal with Mo Qingyun. "Patriarch, look at this." Seeing Pang Hong's body destroyed, Pang De's face shows a pained expression, suppressing the anger in his heart. He has 5 children in his life, 4 of them are girls. Pang Hong is the only son. Because Pang Hong's cultivation talent is ordinary, he spent a lot of effort to help Pang Hong raise his cultivation. Now that he finally raised Pang Hong's cultivation to the immortal core stage, his body was destroyed by Mo Qingyun. This is equivalent to his life's work being destroyed by Mo Qingyun in an instant. How can this hatred be forgotten? Hearing Pang De's question, the Pang family's patriarch, Pang Wei-shing, frowned. "There's news from the East Dawn Immortal Palace. Something big seems to have happened there. Elder Lu Ren is also in trouble. We cannot fall out with the Ghost Moon family for now." Hearing Pang Wei-shing's words, Pang De's expression immediately turns grave, a strong sense of unwillingness rises. Knowing that his enemy is right in front of him but he can't take revenge, this feeling is too torturous. "Father." Hearing Pang Wei Xing's words, Pang Hong's face shows unwillingness, quickly begging Pang De. Hong your father will definitely avenge you, that kid won't be able to escape. Although he wants to take revenge on Mo Qingyun, reason tells Pang De that he can't do so now. Without the help of the constellation expert Lu Ren, even if their Pang family mobilizes all of their people, they won't be able to make the Ghost Moon family surrender. Therefore, he must wait for the news from East Dawn Immortal Palace and Elder Lu Ren's reply. Carry young Master Hong back first. Pang De forcefully suppressed the anger in his heart and waved his hand to the surrounding people, indicating them to carry Pang Hong back. Hearing Pang De's order, the servants immediately carried Pang Hong and walked out of restaurant Wan Jun. Seeing the servants carrying Pang Hong away, Pang De and the rest did not hesitate and left restaurant Wan Jun. When Pound and the others left the pavilion of Rising Monarchs, Mo Qingyun and the other two returned to the Ghost Moon Manor. After returning to the Ghost Moon Manor, Mo Qingyun separated from the Ghost Moon people and returned to the courtyard with Zhang Sun Chuxin. After arriving at his residence, Mo Qingyun explained a few things to Zhang Sun Chuxin before returning to his room. It was a quiet night. The next morning, Saint Envoy Han Ning came to Mo Qingyun's residence to remind Mo Qingyun that it was time to leave. Hearing Saint Envoy Han Ning's announcement, Mo Qingyun and Zhang Sun Chuxin walked out of the small courtyard together. Seeing Zhang Sun Chuxin come out with Mo Qingyun, Sacred Emissary Han Ning frowned and squinted at Zhang Sun Chuxin. Clearly, Zhang Sun Chuxin's sudden appearance made her feel very surprised. However, Sacred Emissary Han Ning was not a meddlesome person. After looking at Zhang Sun Chuxin a few more times, she led the way for Mo Qingyun and said, "Let's go, the family head and the rest are waiting." Since Sacred Emissary Han Ning did not ask, Mo Qingyun naturally did not explain. He and Zhang Sun Chuxin silently followed behind Sacred Emissary Han Ning. Not long later, under Sacred Emissary Han Ning's guidance, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of the Ghost Moon Clan's group. "Brother Mo, did you rest well last night?" Seeing Mo Qingyun and Sacred Emissary Han Ning arrive, Gui Yuemin winked at Mo Qingyun, revealing an expression that said, "You know what I mean." Seeing Gui Yuemin's expression, Mo Qingyun felt a headache coming and said helplessly, "Not bad." Hearing Mo Qingyun's reply, Gui Yuemin's eyes lit up, as if he had caught onto something important. Immediately, Gui Yuemin looked towards Zhang Sun Chuxin. His meaning was obvious. From Gui Yuemin's actions, it was obvious that he had misinterpreted Mo Qingyun's words. "All right, everyone, let's go." Just as Gui Yuemin was about to speak, an elder of the Ghost Moon clan spoke loudly to everyone. Then, everyone mounted their demonic beasts and headed towards the Baibian clan. At this moment, a huge figure flew towards them at an extremely fast speed, arriving above them in the blink of an eye. "Everyone, be careful, this is a true Immortal Realm golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle." Seeing the huge black figure above them, the Ghost Moon clan's members were shocked and immediately went on alert. Although this golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle's strength was not particularly strong, it was enough to scare their mounts. Immediately, the Ghost Moon clan's members took out their weapons and prepared to attack the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Just as everyone was preparing to attack the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, it flew in front of Mo Qingyun and made a respectful gesture. "Let's go up." Mo Qingyun said to Zhang Sun Chuxin, walked up to the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, and sat down cross-legged. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk up to the back of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, everyone was shocked and could not help but look at Mo Qingyun. They did not expect that this true Immortal Realm golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle would be Mo Qingyun's mount. He actually has a true Immortal Realm golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle as his mount. Saint Emissary Han Ning's pretty face was shocked. She was also shocked by this scene and looked at Mo Qingyun again. She realized that in just a year, she could no longer see through this young man. "Han Ning, who is this young man?" When Saint Emissary Han Ning was shocked, a stalwart middle-aged man beside her asked her about Emo Qingyun's origin. Just now, Emo Qingyun came with Saint Emissary Han Ning. He instinctively thought that Saint Emissary Han Ning should know about Emo Qingyun's origin. Patriarch, this young man is an old friend of mine and yours. He is going to congratulate you on her marriage. Hearing the Ghost Moon Patriarch's question, Saint Emissary Han Ning showed a respectful expression and quickly introduced Emo Qingyun to him. However, she did not say much about the matters between Emo Qingyun and Ghost Moon to the Ghost Moon Patriarch. Because if she revealed the relationship between Emo Qingyun and Ghost Moon, the Ghost Moon Patriarch would immediately deal with Emo Qingyun. They would not allow anyone to threaten the marriage between the Ghost Moon Patriarch and the 100 Change Patriarch. Oh! The Ghost Moon Patriarch nodded his head in understanding. With the addition of Emo Qingyun and the others, he no longer paid any attention to Emo Qingyun. Presumably, in his opinion, an immortal infant stage junior was not worthy of his attention. Retracting his gaze from Emo Qingyun, the Ghost Moon Patriarch pondered for a moment and said to Saint Emissary Han Ning, "This young man's talent is not ordinary. Try your best to rope him in. If he can be used by the Ghost Moon Patriarch, he might become a great fighting force for the Ghost Moon Patriarch in 100 years. Yes. Saint Emissary Han Ning nodded and looked at Emo Qingyun with a complicated gaze. With Emo Qingyun's status, it was impossible for a small Ghost Moon Patriarch to recruit him. Next, everyone chatted for a while before they set off for the 100 Change Patriarch. Chapter 1428. Several hours later, when Emo Qingyun and company arrived at the 100 Transformations residence, they saw the other factions that came to congratulate them. "Brother Yenping, long time no see. How have you been?" Seeing the arrival of the Ghost Moon family head, some familiar people came up to greet him. "Hee, long time no see everyone." Seeing the people greeting him, the Ghost Moon family head revealed a brilliant smile and quickly got along well with the crowd. At the same time, the other members of the Ghost Moon family also started chatting with the people they were familiar with. Seeing the actions of the Ghost Moon family people, Emo Qingyun gradually separated from them and prepared to go to the inner palace of the 100 Transformations residence to look for Ghost Moon. "Young Master Min, I'll have to trouble you to look after Chushin for me. I have some matters to attend to." Emo Qingyun came to Gui Yuemin's side and instructed him to look after Zhang Sun Chushin before preparing to enter the inner palace of the 100 Transformations residence. "Brother Emo, the 100 Transformations residence is heavily guarded. It's best if you don't wander around." Seeing that Emo Qingyun was about to enter the inner palace of the 100 Transformations residence, Gui Yuemin's expression immediately turned solemn and quickly stopped Emo Qingyun. Hearing Gui Yuemin's reminder, Emo Qingyun faintly smiled and shook his head. "Don't worry, I'm just casually walking around. I won't attract the attention of the 100 Transformations residents." "Well, if you run into any trouble, just tell them my name." Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, Gui Yuemin's expression eased up a bit and worriedly instructed Emo Qingyun. And Emo Qingyun nodded and walked towards the inner palace of the Ghost Moon residence, separating from Gui Yuemin and company. Just as Gui Yuemin said, the 100 Transformations residence is heavily guarded. Before Emo Qingyun could walk far, he was stopped by a few guards. "Stop, this is not a place where you should be. Leave this place immediately." The guards of the 100 Transformations residence had a cold expression as they sternly reprimanded Emo Qingyun. Seeing the actions of these guards, Emo Qingyun did not waste time talking nonsense with them and directly grabbed towards them. Bang bang bang. Under Emo Qingyun's quick hands, these guards didn't even have time to react before their heads were crushed by Emo Qingyun. After Emo Qingyun killed these guards, his footsteps didn't stop as he continued deeper into the 100 Changes manor. When Emo Qingyun entered the inner mansion of the 100 Change mansion, He released his soul power to sense the location of the ghost moon saintess. It was just that there were many array formations in the 100 Changes manner that obstructed Mo Qingyun's soul sense, making it much more difficult for him to find people. When Mo Qingyun discovered that the 100 Transformations manner's array formation was preventing his spiritual strength from permeating, he knew that this method wouldn't work. Looks like I can only interrogate some people to find out Ghost Moon's location. Mo Qingyun silently thought about it and started to look for people with status. He wanted to ask them about Ghost Moon's location. Soon, a seductively dressed woman became Mo Qingyun's target. This woman's strength is not weak, her cultivation has reached the minor star realm, she can be considered an expert. Soul Prison. To check this woman's cultivation, Mo Qingyun prepared to take the upper hand and immediately released the soul prison on her. A terrifying soul power shot out from Mo Qingyun's left eye, it turned into soul chains and smashed into this woman's sea of consciousness. After being attacked by the soul prison, this woman's head immediately buzzed and she became sluggish on the spot. Demon Eye Soul Seizing. After imprisoning this woman's soul, Mo Qingyun used his innate ability to devour the other party's memories. A deep serene light shot out from Mo Qingyun's left eye and tyrannically smashed into the woman's sea of consciousness. Under the attack of this serene light, a gray figure with a frightened expression slowly flew out from the woman's head. This gray figure is this woman's soul. Don't kill me. As soon as the woman's soul flew out of her body, she revealed a pleading expression and hurriedly begged Mo Qingyun for mercy. However, Mo Qingyun chose to turn a blind eye to her begging for mercy and coldly refined her memories. Under Mo Qingyun's refinement, all the information in the woman's mind was slowly read by Mo Qingyun. As Mo Qingyun read the woman's memories, his expression became more and more strange, an impulse to give up rose in his heart. This woman's lifestyle is really unbearable to look at. She actually had that kind of communication with nearly 100 people from the House of 100 Changes. It can be said that she has rich experience on the battlefield. A quarter of an hour later, Mo Qingyun finally digested the woman's memories after he forced himself to endure. Fortunately, Mo Qingyun's efforts were in vain. From the woman's memories, he found out Gui Yu's location. She was in a secret room of the House of 100 Changes, guarded by 4 minor star realm pinnacle experts. It seems that it will be very difficult to rescue Gui Yu from the House of 100 Changes without alerting anyone. After learning about Gui Yu's current situation from the woman's memories, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but sigh. If that's the case, then let me deal with the 100 Transformations Golden Peak as soon as possible and destroy the 100 Transformations clan. Hidden Door. Mo Qingyun made up his mind. He released the hidden door and immediately went to rescue Gui Yu. Half an hour later, after turning left and right, Mo Qingyun arrived at the secret room where Gui Yu was under house arrest. Just like the woman's memories, the entrance of the secret room was guarded by 4 minor star realm pinnacle experts. Come out! Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun directly summoned a few ghosts to help him deal with these people. Although Mo Qingyun wasn't afraid of the House of 100 Changes, now that the House of 100 Changes was full of experts, it was naturally the best outcome if he could rescue Gui Yu without alerting anyone. The aura of major star realm pinnacle experts immediately appeared around Mo Qingyun. Major star realm pinnacle experts. Sensing the aura of the ghosts, the 4 gatekeepers were startled and were caught off guard by this unforeseen event. However, before the 4 of them could react, they were drowned by the group of ghosts. While the ghosts were dealing with the 4 gatekeepers, Mo Qingyun came to the front of the secret room and observed the array outside the secret room with all his might. Quick, must be quick. While Mo Qingyun was observing the array inside the secret room, his heart was full of urgency. He wanted to break the array before the rest of the House of 100 Changes arrived. Time passed by bit. Under Mo Qingyun's constant observation, His study of the array inside the secret room became more and more thorough. While Emo Qingyun was studying the array inside the secret room, the 4 minor star realm experts guarding the secret room all died in the hands of the ghost. After the time it took to brew a cup of tea, under Emo Qingyun's all-out study, he finally figured out the array outside the secret room. A smile appeared on the corner of his mouth as he said, "So it's the 4 symbols immortal lock array." The 4 symbols immortal lock array was not a powerful array. It was just a beginner-level 4 array. But it had a special feature. If it was guarded by 4 powerhouses at the same time, it could withstand the attacks of powerhouses 2 levels higher. In other words, with 4 minor star realm experts guarding it, even constellation realm experts couldn't break it. Chapter 1429. Open for me. Knowing what kind of array was outside the secret chamber, Emo Qingyun immediately formed a hand seal and raised his hand to blast the array. When Emo Qingyun's palm touched the array, a ray of light immediately appeared on the array and turned into a colorful light screen that appeared before Emo Qingyun's eyes. The moment the array appeared, the mark on Emo Qingyun's palm quickly sank into the array. Immediately after, the array began to shake like a candle in the wind, swaying unsteadily. Pop! The array shook for a moment, then burst like a bubble before Emo Qingyun's eyes. With the collapse of the array, the secret chamber where Guiyu Yu was under house arrest appeared before Emo Qingyun's eyes. Seeing this, Emo Qingyun's footsteps did not stop as he immediately opened the door and walked into the secret chamber. Creak! Emo Qingyun opened the door of the secret chamber and saw a familiar beautiful figure sitting by the bed with a haggard face. Seeing the beautiful figure in the secret chamber, Emo Qingyun's chest tightened as he revealed a distressed expression and said, "Guiyu Yu, I'm here." The beautiful figure trembled and her expression immediately became excited as she slowly turned her head to look at Emo Qingyun. Qingyun, is it really you? Am I not dreaming?" Looking at Emo Qingyun standing at the door of the secret chamber, Guiyu Yu's eyes were moist as she suddenly felt tears of joy. She had already prepared for the worst. If the golden transformation peak forced her again, she would commit suicide during the wedding. She did not expect that when she was about to despair, Emo Qingyun would actually come before her. This sudden change in emotions made her feel as if everything was unreal. "It's me. I'll take you out of here now." Emo Qingyun smiled gently and quickly walked to Guiyu Yu's side. He took her hand and walked out. Looking at Emo Qingyun's action, Guiyu Yu's expression froze and a trace of blush appeared on her face. However, the current situation was urgent, and Ghost Moon didn't think of anything else. Emo Qingyun brought Guiyu Yu out of the secret chamber and stored the ghosts into the 5-directional pagoda. He then prepared to leave the inner mansion of 100 Changes Manor. Swish, swish, swish. At this time, several figures appeared in the sky above Emo Qingyun and Huang Xiaolong. Seeing these figures appear, Ghost Moon's expression immediately trembled, and a look of panic and worry appeared on her face. These people's auras were all at the true immortal realm. Emo Qingyun was only at the immortal infant stage. Could he block these people? "Brat, hand over Miss Xiao Xiao and obediently allow yourself to be captured. Follow me to receive your punishment." An old man in the sky had a solemn expression as he berated Emo Qingyun sternly. Ghost Moon Saintess's real name was Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao. Emo Qingyun called her Ghost Moon out of habit. As soon as the old man finished speaking, he released the aura of a minor star realm expert and pressed down on Emo Qingyun. To the old man's surprise, Emo Qingyun remained calm under the pressure of his aura. It was as if his aura didn't exist. You can actually ignore my aura pressure. You have some skills." Seeing that Emo Qingyun ignored his aura pressure, the old man was surprised. He couldn't help but think highly of Emo Qingyun. After carefully sizing up Emo Qingyun, the old man's expression gradually turned cold. He snorted coldly and said, "Humph. If that's the case, let this old man see what you're capable of." As soon as the old man finished speaking, his body turned into an afterimage. In a flash, he appeared in front of Emo Qingyun. Immortal technique, sky-piercing finger. The old man pointed his finger. His index finger emitted a dazzling golden light and a terrifying aura. Soon, the golden light on the old man's finger turned into a golden light beam. It blasted towards Emo Qingyun's chest. Xiao's heavenly spirit finger. Facing the old man's finger, Emo Qingyun's expression turned cold. He faced the old man's finger head-on. A black immortal spiritual power gathered at Emo Qingyun's fingertip. It emitted a terrifying demonic aura. Soon, a finger radiance with equal aura blasted out from Emo Qingyun's finger. Bang! Two meteor-like finger radiances collided in mid-air. Like a flash in the pan, it produced a dazzling light. The appearance of this dazzling light was accompanied by a deafening sound and a terrifying storm of spiritual energy that came from mid-air. Seeing the terrifying spiritual power storm sweeping over, Emo Qingyun quickly protected Ghost Moon and dodged to the side. When Emo Qingyun dodged, the old man also quickly retreated. He did not dare to face the spiritual power storm head-on. Soon, Emo Qingyun brought Ghost Moon to mid-air and confronted the people from the House of 100 Transformations. Due to the huge commotion caused by the fight between Emo Qingyun and the old man, it quickly attracted the attention of a large group of people. Swish, 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 swish. Following that, figures streaked across the sky and came to Emo Qingyun's side. Who's that kid? He's got guts. He actually dares to cause trouble in the House of 100 Transformations. The girl beside that kid seems to be Ghost Moon Clan's Ghost Moon Xiao. Ghost Moon Xiao? Isn't she the bride of the 100 Transformations Golden Peak? Why is she with this kid? This is interesting. Looking at this kid's posture, he seems to want to snatch the bride. Looking at Emo Qingyun's group in midair, some of the people who recognized Ghost Moon revealed an expression of waiting for a good show. Brother Emo, he went to look for Xiao? Looking at Emo Qingyun and Ghost Moon Xiao in midair, Gui Yuemin's eyes widened. He was incomparably shocked by Emo Qingyun's actions. After a brief moment of shock, Gui Yuemin revealed an expression of admiration and sighed. Brother Emo is indeed awesome. He actually dares to snatch the bride during the House of 100 Transformations wedding. His taste is indeed different. Could it be that he has more feelings for other people's women? Gui Yuemin stroked his chin with a thoughtful look. It seemed like he also wanted to give it a try. This kid's way of doing things really hasn't changed at all. He's still as swift and decisive. Seeing Emo Qingyun's actions, Sacred Emissary Han Ning could not help but sigh. She felt helpless towards Emo Qingyun's actions. However, while Sacred Emissary Han Ning was sighing in her heart, she also had a better impression of Emo Qingyun. For Emo Qingyun to act like this, Ghost Moon Xiao's feelings towards him were not in vain. Han Ning, what's going on? Why is that kid with Xiao? Seeing Emo Qingyun and Sacred Emissary Han Ning in midair, Gui Yuemin revealed an unhappy expression as he questioned Sacred Emissary Han Ning. Originally, he saw that Emo Qingyun and Sacred Emissary Han Ning were familiar with each other and that Emo Qingyun's talent was not bad. Gui Yuemin was even moved by Emo Qingyun's talent. Who would have thought that in such a short time, Emo Qingyun would cause so much trouble? This was not just disappointing him. And the person who caused all of this was Sacred Emissary Han Ning, who was familiar with Emo Qingyun. If Sacred Emissary Han Ning didn't bring Emo Qingyun here, this wouldn't have happened. Patriarch, actually. Hearing Gui Yuemin's words, Sacred Emissary Han Ning revealed a bitter expression as she prepared to explain to Gui Yuemin. However, before Sacred Emissary Han Ning could speak, another large group of people arrived. When the person at the front saw Emo Qingyun, he immediately gnashed his teeth and roared, "Emo Qingyun, you dare to disrupt my wedding? Today I will make sure that you die without a complete corpse." Chapter 1430. Not only am I going to ruin your wedding, but I'm also going to kill you on your wedding day. Emo Chingyun replied coldly as he looked at the 100 Transformations golden peak that had arrived with the crowd. His expression was cold. The members of the 100 Transformations clan felt humiliated when they heard Emo Chingyun's words. They flew into a rage and shouted, "Brat, you're really arrogant. Let's see how you're going to turn my 100 Transformations clan upside down today." Emo Chingyun ignored the actions of the 100 Transformations clan and walked towards the crowd with Gui Yuxiao. Soon, Emo Chingyun and Gui Yuxiao arrived in front of the Chu clan. "Chingyun, you really rescued Xiao Xiao." Chu Yunyun was excited when she saw Emo Chingyun and Gui Yuxiao walking towards her. She quickly went up to them. Chu Qingsong frowned when he saw Chu Yunyun's actions. He was worried and worried. Chu Yunyun's actions had undoubtedly pulled the Chu clan and Emo Chingyun to the same side. This would cause trouble for the Chu clan. The Chu clan was just a small clan, so it wasn't appropriate for them to get involved in this dispute. Patriarch Chu, you don't have to worry. From today onwards, the 100 Transformations clan will no longer exist in the Yongnan immortal domain. Seeing Chu Qingsong's expression, Emo Chingyun immediately guessed what he was thinking and spoke to comfort him. Chu Qingsong blushed when he heard Emo Chingyun's words. He nodded at Emo Chingyun and didn't say anything else. Judging from Chu Qingsong's actions, he probably didn't trust Emo Chingyun's words too much. Emo Chingyun didn't mind Chu Qingsong's actions. He only said to Chu Yunyun, "Yunyun, take care of Gui Yu for me. I'm going to exterminate the 100 Transformations clan now." "Alright." Chu Yunyun nodded and walked towards the Chu clan with Gui Yuxiao. Seeing Emo Chingyun hand Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao over to Chu Yunyun, the Ghost Moon family members all showed displeasure. From Emo Chingyun's actions, it was clear that he didn't believe the Ghost Moon clan could protect Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao. However, on second thought, Emo Chingyun's actions were understandable. After all, not long ago, in order to form a marriage alliance with the 100 Change family, they completely ignored Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao's feelings. Then, Emo Chingyun walked to the front of the house of Bai Bian's group under everyone's gaze. The golden peak of 100 Transformations slowly walked out of the crowd. He glanced at Emo Chingyun with disdain and said, "Emo Chingyun, I didn't think that after not seeing you for so long, your cultivation would only improve so little. How disappointing. It's enough to deal with you." Emo Chingyun's face was calm, without the slightest hint of joy or anger. The moment he saw Golden Peak of 100 Transformations, he knew that Golden Peak of 100 Transformations cultivation had reached the star accumulation stage of the true immortal stage. It seemed that Golden Peak of 100 Transformations must have had a fortuitous encounter in the past few months that allowed his cultivation to soar by a large margin. Not only that, Golden Peak of 100 Transformations arm that Emo Chingyun had cut off in this fortuitous encounter had also grown back. Shameless boasting. Golden Peak of 100 Transformations curled his lips in disdain. With a proud expression, he boasted to Emo Chingyun, "I'm afraid you don't know, right? My cultivation has now broken through to the true immortal stage. The gap between the true immortal stage and the celestial stage is like a natural chasm. It's not that easy to cross it. Cultivation realm doesn't represent strength. No matter how high a trash's cultivation realm is, he's still trash." After calmly replying to Golden Peak of 100 Transformations, Emo Chingyun glanced at Golden Peak of 100 Transformations arm and said, "You're pretty lucky. The arm that I cut off can still grow back. In that case, I'll cut it off again today and then kill you." Golden Peak of 100 Transformations was immediately angered by Emo Chingyun's contemptuous words. His expression gradually turned ferocious as he shouted, "In that case, let me see how much you've improved in this period of time." As soon as Golden Peak of 100 Transformations finished speaking, he took out a long halberd that exuded a terrifying aura. Seeing the long halberd in golden peak of 100 transformations hand, the surrounding people were shocked and their eyes widened. The long halberd in golden peak of 100 transformations hand is actually a supreme grade immortal artifact. With a supreme grade immortal artifact, his strength can increase by at least 70%. Golden peak of 100 transformations can now fight against a minor star expert. The gap between a minor star expert and an immortal infant expert isn't that easy to make up for. I'm afraid that Emo Qingyun will be at a disadvantage. Femme fatale. Putting himself in a desperate situation for a woman. This Emo Qingyun is too impulsive. I don't think so. Getting angry for a woman, how heroic is that? Seeing Golden Peak of 100 transformations take out a supreme grade immortal artifact, the crowd lamented and felt pity for Emo Qingyun. In their opinion, Emo Qingyun was basically dead meat with the huge gap in strength. He's overestimating himself. An immortal infant brat dares to fight against a true immortal expert. This brat is too arrogant. Seeing Emo Qingyun's actions, Guiyu Yanping's opinion of Emo Qingyun immediately dropped by a few levels. At this moment, his impression of Emo Qingyun could be said to be extremely bad. At this moment, Guiyu Min and Saint Emissary Han Ning looked solemn and worried for Emo Qingyun. Although the two of them didn't say anything, it was obvious from their expressions that they also thought that Emo Qingyun would lose. A supreme grade immortal artifact halberd. Looking at the halberd in golden peak of 100 transformations hand, Emo Qingyun raised his eyebrows and said with a faint smile, "If I can get this halberd, I can replace the immortal incineration halberd. You want to take my halberd? Let's see if you have the life to do so." Golden peak of 100 transformations expression turned gloomy when he saw that Emo Qingyun still wanted to take his halberd. He didn't like the feeling of being looked down upon by Emo Qingyun. Immortal art, halberd shattering the starry sky. The halberd in golden peak of 100 transformations hand was instantly swung 360 degrees and slashed out an arc-shaped halberd light. As soon as the halberd light was unleashed, it formed a spiritual aura field that emitted a terrifying power. Under this terrifying power, the space around it constantly shook, as if it was about to be torn apart by the halberd light. Heaven fire sky-breaking halberd. In the face of golden peak of 100 transformations halberd, Emo Qingyun didn't hesitate and took out the immortal incineration halberd to stab forward. Under Emo Qingyun's stab, the immortal incineration halberd immediately burst out a terrifying flame and turned into a shocking dragon shadow. Then, everyone saw a dragon shadow that was as long as the front and faced the arc-shaped halberd light head-on. Bang! 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 The two halberd lights collided in midair. It was as if two gigantic dragons were trembling, emitting a series of loud noises. When the loud noise was heard, a terrifying spiritual energy wave also wreaked havoc in the air. Under the sweeping of the spiritual energy, the surrounding people retreated one after another. They were quite frightened by the movement in front of them. Although Emo Qingyun and Golden Peak of 100 transformations didn't have a high cultivation, the movement of their battle was enough to make the lesser star powerhouses wary. After everyone retreated for a moment, they revealed a nervous expression as they watched the two halberd lights fighting in midair. Chapter 1431. A moment later, the halberd light in the air dissipated and the sky returned to normal. At this moment, everyone was shocked as they looked at Emo Qingyun, who was facing off against the House of 100 Transformations. Emo Qingyun and the 100 Transformations Golden Peak were evenly matched in the battle just now. This result was beyond everyone's expectations. One must know that not only was Emo Qingyun's cultivation lower than the 100 Transformations Golden Peak, but the weapon he used was also inferior. Even with such a huge gap, Emo Qingyun and the 100 Transformations Golden Peak were evenly matched. It could be seen that Emo Qingyun's true combat strength had completely exceeded his cultivation level. To be able to fight evenly with the 100 Transformations Golden Peak, this kid's talent is amazing. Seeing Mo Qingyun's amazing performance, even Ghost Moon Jianpain, who was dissatisfied with Mo Qingyun, couldn't help but praise at this moment. Immediately, Ghost Moon Jianpain's gaze towards Mo Qingyun gradually changed as he sighed inwardly. If we knew earlier about this kid's relationship with Xiao Xiao, we wouldn't have forced Xiao Xiao. I wonder what this kid's background is like. If his background is good, we can consider matchmaking him and Xiao Xiao. Some of the elders of the Ghost Moon clan were now looking at Mo Qingyun in a new light and wanted to recruit Mo Qingyun again. They could see that with the talent Mo Qingyun had shown, his future achievements would be extraordinary. In comparison, the 100 Transformations Golden Peak was too weak and his future achievements wouldn't be too amazing. His strength has reached such a level. Saint Envoy Hanning couldn't help but tremble when she saw Mo Qingyun's strength. Her face was filled with disbelief. She couldn't believe that Mo Qingyun, who was only a first-level sky human a year ago, had become so strong that she could only look up to him now. This kind of improvement was too frightening. Although Mr. Mo's strength is comparable to a lesser Star Realm expert, the 100 Transformations clan has a greater Star Realm pinnacle expert. Chu Qingsong had seen Mo Qingyun fight before, so he was not surprised by Mo Qingyun's current performance. In addition, when he thought of the 100 Change clan's great Star Realm expert, his face became gloomy, and his mood became incomparably heavy. You actually managed to block my halberd attack. Looks like I've underestimated you. Seeing that his halberd had been blocked by Mo Qingyun, the golden peak of 100 Transformations revealed a surprised expression. Originally, he had thought that it would be easy for him to kill Mo Qingyun with such a huge gap between them. However, I only used 60% of my strength just now. It's not a big deal if you can block it. The 100 Transformations Golden Peak calmed the shock in his heart and said proudly, as if to comfort himself. For Mo Qingyun to be able to block his halberd, it was not because Mo Qingyun was too strong, but because he had not used his full strength just now. It turns out that the 100 Transformations Golden Peak did not use his full strength just now. No wonder Mo Qingyun was able to block his halberd attack. I'm afraid that the 100 Transformations Golden Peak will not hold back anymore. I'm afraid that Mo Qingyun's situation is not good. No matter what, Mo Qingyun was able to force the 100 Transformations Golden Peak to use his full strength. It's an honorable defeat for him. Realization dawned on everyone's faces. The surprise and doubt in their hearts had been perfectly explained. It turned out that Mo Qingyun was able to fight evenly with the 100 Transformations Golden Peak because the latter had not used his full strength. While everyone was discussing, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly, and he replied with a faint smile, "You didn't use your full strength, but I didn't use my full strength either. I didn't even use 10% of my strength just now." Wow! As soon as Mo Qingyun's words left his mouth, the crowd immediately went into an uproar, and they could not help but curse. F***ck, when it comes to bragging, I only admire Mo Qingyun now. No matter what the outcome is, Mo Qingyun's bragging is perfect. That's right, you can lose a duel, but you can't back down from bragging. Mo Qingyun did a good job. Everyone was exultant, and they found something that resonated with Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun's current performance seemed to have spoken their minds. It was okay to lose, but they could not lose their momentum. Shameless boasting. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was even more arrogant than him, the 100 Transformations Golden Peak felt as though he had eaten a dead fly. He was very upset, and he snorted coldly, "I'd like to see if your true strength is as strong as you say." Immortal technique, Heavenly Jade Emperor's halberd destruction. The 100 Transformations Golden Peak waved his halberd, and his body disappeared, turning into a series of afterimages. Then, these afterimages shrouded Mo Qingyun, and attacked Mo Qingyun from all directions. Heavenly Flame's sky-breaking halberd. Facing the 100 Transformations Golden Peak's halberd, Mo Qingyun did not wait for death, and he waved the immortal burning halberd without hesitation. Mo Qingyun held the immortal burning halberd, and he spun 360 degrees on the spot, slashing out an arc-shaped halberd light. When Mo Qingyun waved the immortal burning halberd, he also released the power of the rushing thunder wind path, as well as 10% of the power of the sovereign star position. With the support of these two forces, the power of the heavenly flames sky-breaking halberd immediately increased by many folds. Roar! A terrifying flame energy turned into a 1,000-meter-long fire dragon, and it circled around Mo Qingyun. Then, the fire dragon halberd light moved around Mo Qingyun, like a dragon emerging from the sea, and slowly flew into the sky. Then, the fire dragon halberd light turned into a flaming wall, protecting Mo Qingyun in the middle. Bang bang bang, when the 100 Transformations Golden Peaks attacks hit the flaming wall, loud bangs were heard, and a terrifying storm of spiritual energy broke out. But without exception, none of the attacks from the 100 Transformations Golden Peak could break through the flaming wall. How? How could this be? Seeing that his attack had no effect on Mo Qingyun, the Golden Mountain of Myriad Transformations immediately revealed a panicked expression. With his cultivation in the true immortal realm and the help of a supreme immortal artifact, he could not even break through Mo Qingyun's defense. Was there anything more terrifying than this? Was Mo Qingyun really that powerful? Looking at the flustered golden transformation peak, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly as he teased, "Golden transformation peak, I only use 10% of my strength. Is this all you've got?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the 100 Transformations Golden Peak suddenly had the urge to vomit blood. He was hit hard by Mo Qingyun. He couldn't even break through Mo Qingyun's defense when he used his full strength. It was indeed a bit too embarrassing. The 100 Transformations Golden Peak's face twitched a few times. He looked at Mo Qingyun gloomily and shouted, "Mo Qingyun, if you really have the ability, come out and fight me head-on. Don't hide in your shell like a big turtle, not daring to come out. You want to fight me head-on? I'll fulfill your request." Hearing the 100 Transformations Golden Peak's words, Mo Qingyun removed the flaming wall and stared at the 100 Transformations Golden Peak. "100 Transformations Golden Peak, I don't mind telling you that you will lose even more miserably if you fight me head-on." Chapter 1432. Heavenly Flames Sky-Breaking Halberd. An even more terrifying immortal spiritual energy blasted out from the immortal immolating halberd and turned into a lifelike dragon shadow. This time, Mo Qingyun had exerted nearly 20% of the power of the wind gale path and supreme star position. Roar! The dragon shadow roared, causing the earth to shake and the space to tremble. Sensing the imposing aura of the dragon shadow, the surrounding people's faces changed and revealed a look of fear. What a terrifying blow! At this moment, the same thought appeared in everyone's mind. What a powerful halberd! Facing Mo Qingyun's attack, the 100 Transformation Golden Peak's expression also twitched and a chill ran down his spine. He could feel that with his current strength, he could not withstand Mo Qingyun's halberd attack. However, as a true immortal realm powerhouse, he could not withstand the attack of an immortal infant stage cultivator. This feeling drove him crazy. "I don't believe that you are so powerful." The 100 Transformation Golden Peak roared and gradually lost his mind. He waved his halberd to meet the dragon shadow. Immortal technique, heavenly blood rage. Under the 100 Transformation Golden Peak's brandishing of the halberd, a dazzling light bloomed and dyed the entire sky red. Immediately after, a huge blood-red figure condensed in midair, exuding an overwhelming aura. Roar! The huge blood-red figure roared to the sky and waved his huge fist, smashing it toward the dragon shadow below. Seeing the 100 Transformation Golden Peak's attack, the surrounding people's faces trembled and their eyes were filled with fear. That's an ancient grade immortal technique. Moreover, it's a mid-grade immortal technique. If this immortal technique is fully unleashed, it's enough to slaughter a major star position powerhouse. Judging from the current situation, the 100 Transformation Golden Peak should not have fully mastered this technique. Even so, judging from the current power, I'm afraid Mo Qingyun won't be able to withstand this immortal technique. At this moment, everyone was shocked and worried for Mo Qingyun. It couldn't be helped. The grade of the 100 Transformations Golden Peak's immortal art was simply too high. I'm afraid the 100 Transformations Golden Peak will suffer quite a bit of backlash for forcefully using an ancient mediocre immortal technique. Ghost Moon Gon Ping could not help but sigh when he saw the golden face of Transformations' actions. He looked at Mo Qingyun with pity and said, Mo Qingyun will probably be severely injured by the golden face of Transformations' attack. It might even affect his cultivation foundation. From the looks of it, I'm afraid both sides have suffered heavy losses in this battle. After listening to Gui Yu's analysis, the elders of the Ghost Moon clan couldn't help but sigh. This was undoubtedly the worst possible outcome. No matter which one of them was injured, it was not good news for the Ghost Moon clan. This was because both of them could become the son-in-law of the Ghost Moon clan, becoming half a member of the Ghost Moon clan. Can he take it? Saint Envoy Hanning, Gui Yuemin, and the others tensed up. They were worried for Mo Qingyun. As for Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao and the other women, they clenched their fists and bit their lips to the point of bleeding. Compared to Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao and the others, the people of the 100 Transformations clan rushed toward the 100 Transformations Golden Peak and said nervously, Golden Peak is willing to risk the backlash of his immortal art just to fight this brat. He's too impulsive. At this moment, when the people of the 100 Transformations clan attacked, the crimson figure clashed with the dragon shadow halberd light. Bang! 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 As the two collided, a series of loud bangs were immediately heard, creating a storm that was like a shocking sea wave. Under the sweeping spiritual energy storm, those who wanted to rescue the 100 Transformations Golden Peak were all blocked from moving forward. At the same time, the 100 Transformations Golden Peak, who bore the brunt of the storm, was engulfed by the storm. Golden Peak. The expressions of the people of the 100 Transformations clan greatly changed at the sight of this. Intense worry could be seen on their faces. Judging from the power of the storm, even if the 100 Transformations Golden Peak didn't die after being engulfed by the storm, he would be severely injured. When the 100 Transformations Golden Peak was engulfed by the storm, Mo Qingyun quickly retreated and distanced himself from the storm. Next, everyone looked on nervously as they watched the 100 Transformations Golden Peak being engulfed by the storm. A moment later, the raging storm in the air finally dissipated slowly. Following that, a wretched figure appeared in front of everyone's eyes. This figure was none other than the 100 Transformations Golden Peak, who was engulfed by the storm. Under the impact of such a terrifying storm, the 100 Transformations Golden Peak managed to keep his life. One had to admit that he was really lucky. Although he managed to keep his life, the 100 Transformations Golden Peak's current appearance couldn't be more battered. His hair was disheveled, and there were a few bald spots on his head. His clothes were also tattered, and there were many places that couldn't cover his skin. Most importantly, his private part was wide open without a single piece of cloth covering it. Seeing this scene, the surroundings fell silent. Obviously, everyone was caught off guard by this situation and couldn't react in time. Ha ha ha! After a short moment of silence, it was welcomed by a tidal wave of laughter. Ha ha! Mo Qingyun is too evil. He actually beat up the 100 Transformations Golden Peak's private part. Take a closer look. His private part is clearly still there. Is it? What the hell? The private part you're talking about can't be that little earthworm, right? You have to feel your conscience when you speak. Is that an earthworm? It's clearly a toothpick, okay? You're all lying through your teeth. It's clearly an embroidery thread, okay? There's even a little spiral. It's too small. Even if it were 1,000 times bigger, I wouldn't be able to feel its existence when I do that. Second sister, it's not just 1,000 times bigger. Even if it were 10,000 times bigger, I wouldn't be able to feel it inside. What are you all talking about? Why can't I understand what you're saying? For a moment, all kinds of teasing words came from the mouths of the surrounding youths. Seeing that this guy's weapon is so small, I'm relieved. Xiao Xiao definitely wasn't bullied by him. Seeing the 100 Transformations Golden Peak's private part, Gui Yuemin immediately laughed out loud and said a mocking sentence. Hearing Gui Yuemin's words, the surrounding people frowned and then couldn't help but laugh. Although this guy's words were a little vulgar, his words weren't vulgar. It was really the case. Kid, you're going too far. Seeing the state of the 100 Transformations Golden Peak, the people of the 100 Transformations clan were furious. They couldn't wait to skin Emo Qingyun and pull out his tendons. Emo Qingyun had gone too far by humiliating the 100 Transformations Golden Peak. Golden Peak. After saying this angry sentence, the people of the 100 Transformations clan flew to the 100 Transformations Golden Peak and quickly brought him back. Seeing this scene, Emo Qingyun was a little dumbfounded. He was caught unprepared. Chapter 1433. The faces of the people from the 100 Transformation clan turned even uglier when they checked the injuries of the 100 Transformation Golden Peak. Under the erosion of the spiritual energy storm, the meridians in the 100 Transformation Golden Peak's body were all damaged. To put it bluntly, the 100 Transformation Golden Peak was no different from a cripple. Patriarch, elders, avenge me! Looking at the people around him, the 100 Transformation Golden Peak had a ferocious expression as he begged them to deal with Emo Qingyun. Hearing the request of the 100 Transformation Golden Peak, an old man with a peak lesser star cultivation walked out from the crowd of the 100 Transformation clan. 100 Transformation Yuanxiong, how dare it be him? Looking at the old man who walked out of the crowd, Ghost Moon Jianpain was shocked as he recognized the old man. He exclaimed, I didn't expect the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong's cultivation to reach the peak lesser star after 1,000 years. Emo Qingyun is in trouble now. Ghost Moon Jianpain was from the same generation as the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong, so he knew the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong better. He didn't expect the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong's cultivation to reach the peak lesser star after 1,000 years. When Ghost Moon Jianpain recognized the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong, some of the people around also recognized the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong. That man is the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong. I didn't expect him to still be alive and his cultivation to be even stronger than before. The 100 Transformation Yuanxiong was the #1 genius of the 100 Transformation clan. His current strength is probably comparable to a major star powerhouse. Emo Qingyun is really in danger this time, facing a powerhouse like the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong. Looking at the confrontation between the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong and Emo Qingyun, the people around couldn't help but sigh. They thought that Emo Qingyun was definitely going to die. Kid, you've got guts. How dare you injure someone of the 100 Transformation clan? The 100 Transformation Yuanxiong stared at Emo Qingyun as a bloody light flashed in his eyes, giving off an extremely bloodthirsty feeling. It seemed that the 100 Transformation Yuanxiong's hands were stained with blood before he became famous. Injure someone? The corners of Emo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly, revealing a contemptuous smile as he replied, Not only do I dare to hurt people, I dare to kill people. As soon as Emo Qingyun finished speaking, his expression turned cold and his body emitted a murderous aura. Blood Qi Berserk, God of War Transformation. Emo Qingyun naturally wouldn't be careless when he decided to fight with 100 Transformations Yuanxiong. He immediately used 2 of his abilities to increase his combat strength. Soon, the aura that Emo Qingyun emitted increased by more than a few times. Before long, Emo Qingyun's cultivation had risen from the immortal infant stage to the half-step true immortal stage. At the same time, Emo Qingyun's body grew 3 times larger in the blink of an eye. Qingyun has grown bigger, he's become so big. Seeing Emo Qingyun's body grow bigger, Chu Yunyun revealed an excited expression and said excitedly. Hearing Chu Yunyun's words, the surrounding people were stunned and looked at Chu Yunyun with surprise. He's become so big? Why did these words make it easy for people to have a certain ambiguity when they heard it? Seeing that everyone had turned to look at her, Chu Yunyun's pretty face immediately flushed red like a red apple. It's so embarrassing. She actually said such embarrassing words. What a domineering ability. Emo Qingyun actually has such an ability. Seeing Emo Qingyun's 2 abilities, Ghost Moon Giant Pain's expression tensed up and he immediately thought highly of Emo Qingyun. At this moment, he had abandoned his prejudice against Emo Qingyun and truly realized how outstanding Emo Qingyun was. Then, Emo Qingyun took the initiative to attack 100 transformations Yuanxiong in front of everyone's eyes. Xiaoza Heavenly Spirit Finger. Inaction Heaven Concealing Finger. Middle Finger of Destruction. Upper Devouring Finger. Great Sky Devil Tribe. After using 2 abilities to increase his combat strength, Emo Qingyun didn't hesitate to attack with a few fingers. 100 transformations Yuanxiong's strength was much higher than his, so he had to make the first move to gain the upper hand. Waves of terrifying immortal spiritual energy blasted out from Emo Qingyun's fingertips, erupting with terrifying demonic power. It didn't take long for the immortal spiritual force to coalesce into giant fingers that shot at changeable Yuanxiong. Boom! Boom! Under the flight of these giant fingers, loud noises could be heard in the air, as if the mountains were collapsing and the earth was cracking. Sensing the power of the giant fingers, the surrounding people were shocked. They were shocked by Emo Qingyun's performance. How is this possible? How can a kid at the immortal infant stage display such combat strength? Judging from Emo Qingyun's performance, he might have only used 10% of his combat strength when he fought 100 transformations Golden Peak. If that's the case, Emo Qingyun isn't bragging. He's really awesome. In comparison, 100 transformations Golden Peak's words, just now, are just bragging. Seeing Emo Qingyun's amazing performance, the surrounding people's expressions changed and they exclaimed in shock. What a powerful ability! I'm afraid even I can't withstand an attack of this level. Feeling the power of the giant fingers in the air, Ghost Moon Baku Ping's expression changed, and even his breathing became rapid. At this moment, he could sense a real threat from those giant fingers. Hanning, who is this Emo Qingyun? Ghost Moon Baku Ping's curiosity about Emo Qingyun had reached an unprecedented level, and he couldn't help but ask again. Seeing Ghost Moon Baku Ping asking about Emo Qingyun's identity again, Saint Emissary Hanning's expression turned serious and she replied, Patriarch, Emo Qingyun came from the affiliated continent with Xiao Xiao a year ago. It's said that not long ago, he became the personal disciple of the Eternal South Immortal Palace's 3 patriarchs. The personal disciple of the Eternal South Immortal Palace's 3 patriarchs? I didn't expect that person to be him. So the rumor is true. Hearing this, Ghost Moon Baku Ping's expression couldn't help but tremble. He was quite frightened by her words. He'd already guessed that Emo Qingyun's background wasn't simple, but he hadn't thought that Emo Qingyun's background would be so powerful. What a powerful ability! Just like everyone else, 100 transformations Yuanxiong was shocked by Emo Qingyun's attack. Immediately, he stopped underestimating Emo Qingyun and began to view him as an opponent on the same level. Immortal Technique, Great Massacre Blade. Withdrawing his contempt for Emo Qingyun, 100 transformations Yuanxiong took out a crimson saber and slashed down viciously at Emo Qingyun. This immortal technique was the strongest attack he could use, and he was prepared to kill Mo Qingyun with lightning speed. Under 100 transformations Yuanxiong's saber, a terrifying crimson, immortal spiritual energy dyed half the sky red. Soon, the immortal spiritual energy turned into a crimson saber and met the numerous giant fingers that were attacking him. Bang bang bang. The moment the crimson saber collided with the giant fingers, there was a loud bang and a terrifying spiritual energy storm. Bang. While everyone was still shocked by the power of Mo Qingyun's battle, 100 transformations Yuanxiong was hit by a domineering force. Then, 100 transformations Yuanxiong's body flew out and crashed into a row of buildings and pavilions. 100 transformations Yuanxiong was defeated. Chapter 1434. Puff. Taking Mo Qingyun's attack, Yuanxiong spat out a mouthful of blood, his face as pale as a sheet of paper. Seeing Yuanxiong's appearance, the rest of the 100 Transformations clan were shocked and rushed over nervously. Yuanxiong, are you alright? I'm fine. Under everyone's concerned gaze, Yuanxiong stood up with difficulty and looked at Mo Qingyun with fear. This brat has an offensive divine art that can silently attack others. I was careless just now and fell into his trap. Yuanxiong wasn't lying. Mo Qingyun did have a divine art that could silently attack others. However, the technique that Mo Qingyun used to injure him just now was not the silent inaction heaven concealing finger. Instead, it was the middle path finger of destruction, which had the power to hit a cow through a mountain. So that's how it is. No wonder Yuanxiong was heavily injured by that brat. Humph. In the face of absolute power, that brat's tricks are useless. That's right, since that brat's trick has been discovered, Yuanxiong will have an easier time dealing with him. At this moment, the members of the ever-changing clan suddenly understood why ever-changing Yuanxiong was injured. Soon after, Yuanxiong slowly walked towards Mo Qingyun under everyone's gaze. Brat, don't be too proud, I was careless just now and fell into your trap. Arriving in front of Mo Qingyun, Yuanxiong revealed a cold expression and explained the reason for his injury. Now, as long as this old man is vigilant, your little tricks won't be able to hurt this old man. After Polymorph Yuanxiong finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and immediately released his soul force to defend himself. Immortal Core Stage Soul Power. The corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly as he sensed Polymorph Yuanxiong's soul aura. He said disdainfully, "Old man, you think too highly of yourself. If I want to kill you, I don't need to go through so much trouble. One look is enough?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yuanxiong wasn't the only one who was enraged, the others around him were as well. Mo Qingyun's tone was a little too arrogant. This Mo Qingyun is really boastful. Does he think he's a Constellation Stage Elite? Even if a Constellation Stage Elite attacked, he wouldn't be able to kill a Pinnacle Minor Star Stage Elite with just one look. That's right, unless a Golden Immortal Stage Elite attacked, it's impossible. Seeing Mo Qingyun's arrogance, everyone snorted at him, thinking he was too arrogant. Aren't you afraid of biting your tongue? I want to see how you can kill me with just one look. Polymorph Yuanxiong clearly didn't believe that Mo Qingyun could kill him with just a look. If that was the case, Mo Qingyun wouldn't have had to go through so much trouble to confront him head-on. Mo Qingyun didn't want to explain further when he saw that Polymorph Yuanxiong didn't believe him. Soul Prison. A soul energy that was close to a major star stage's aura blasted out from Mo Qingyun's left eye, turning into soul chains. Sensing Mo Qingyun's soul aura, the expressions of the surrounding people changed drastically, and they all revealed terrified expressions. Mo Qingyun's soul realm had reached such a terrifying level. Was this something an immortal infant stage cultivator should have? After the soul chains were formed, they turned into rays of light and blasted into Yuanxiong's mind. Yuanxiong screamed as he was attacked by the soul chains. He hugged his head and rolled around. At the same time, Yuanxiong's face turned red like a pig's liver. Yuanxiong. Seeing Yuanxiong's appearance, everyone from the 100 Transformation clan was shocked. They rushed towards Yuanxiong. When the 100 Transformations clan charged at 100 Transformations Yuanxiong, his pupils suddenly dilated and his gaze became hollow. Then, Yuanxiong started to bleed from his 7 orifices. His aura started to weaken rapidly. After a while, Yuanxiong's aura completely dissipated. Family head, Yuanxiong's soul has been destroyed. He's dead. Sensing that Yuanxiong's soul had been destroyed, an elder from the 100 Transformation clan reported the result with a heavy expression. Hearing this elder's words, everyone from the 100 Transformations clan trembled and felt dizzy. Yuanxiong was dead. One of their clan's geniuses had been killed by Mo Qingyun with a single glance. Kid, you've gone too far. I'm going to tear you to pieces. Hearing the news of Yuanxiong's death, Bai Chenkuan, the family head of the 100 Transformation clan, roared with a ferocious expression. Yuanxiong was their clan's most promising candidate to become a major star stage cultivator in the past 100 years. Now, he was killed by Mo Qingyun. This was undoubtedly a huge loss for the 100 Transformation clan. For a faction like the 100 Transformation clan, losing a minor star stage cultivator would cause them great heartache. Not to mention someone like Yuanxiong, who had a high chance of becoming a major star stage cultivator. Hearing Bai Chenkuan's words, the people from the various major factions around them were shocked. What? Yuanxiong is dead? Did I hear that right? I can't sense Yuanxiong's aura anymore. Looks like he was really killed by Mo Qingyun. If that's the case, Mo Qingyun wasn't bluffing just now. He really killed Yuanxiong with a single glance. He killed a pinnacle minor star stage cultivator with a single glance. Mo Qingyun's strength is terrifying. Everyone was shocked by this result, and a strong fear of Mo Qingyun rose in their hearts. Most of these people's cultivation bases were below the major star level. Since Mo Qingyun could kill Yuanxiong with a single glance, it was only natural that he could do the same to them. He killed Yuanxiong with a single glance. Does that mean what Mr. Mo said just now was true? Looking at the scene in front of him and recalling Mo Qingyun's words, Chu Qingsong's eyes widened instantly. If that was the case, Mo Qingyun's strength was too terrifying. As expected of the disciple of the 3 great ancestors of the Eternal South Immortal Palace, such terrifying combat strength is terrifying. Seeing Yuanxiong killed by Mo Qingyun, Ghost Moon Baku Ping couldn't help but sigh. He was in awe of Mo Qingyun and said, "No wonder Ghost Moon didn't want to marry Yuanxiong. The gap between him and Mo Qingyun is too big. It seems like we were wrong this time." Hearing Ghost Moon Baku Ping's words, the elders of the Ghost Moon clan nodded and sighed with a heavy expression. However, with Mo Qingyun's terrifying background, I'm afraid we can't recruit him. It's not about recruiting him now. It's about whether he will bear a grudge against the Ghost Moon clan. Ghost Moon Baku Ping sighed. Chapter 1435. Bai Chenkuan bellowed and released his aura. In an instant, the aura of a major star powerhouse suddenly descended on Mo Qingyun. Under Bai Chenkuan's aura, Mo Qingyun's body swayed and he couldn't help but take a few steps back. Humph! Under the absolute disparity in strength, I can crush you to death even with my aura. After releasing his aura to oppress Mo Qingyun, Bai Chenkuan didn't stop and quickly rushed towards Mo Qingyun. Immortal technique, Firestorm Wheel. When Bai Chenkuan rushed towards Mo Qingyun, his hands quickly formed a strange hand seal. After the hand seal was formed, it erupted with a terrifying firestorm power and turned into a huge flaming wheel. Under the rotation of the firestorm wheel, the whole world shook as if it couldn't bear the impact of the firestorm wheel's aura. So strong! He can release such an attack without activating his star power. He's indeed a major star powerhouse. Sensing the aura of the firestorm wheel, Mo Qingyun showed a dignified expression. He had a better understanding of the strength of a major star powerhouse. This was the first time he had a direct confrontation with a major star powerhouse without the help of external forces. Sealed door. Facing Bai Qingquan's attack, Emo Qingyun naturally would not resign himself to death and hurriedly counterattacked the 100 Transformations Golden Peak. Soon, a mini version of the light gate formed in front of Emo Qingyun at high speed. After the sealed door was formed, it turned into a stream of light and blasted towards Bai Qingquan at an extremely fast speed. Then, the sealed door directly blasted into Bai Qingquan's body when he was caught off guard. After being attacked by the sealed door, Bai Qingquan's expression immediately changed and a look of intense shock appeared on his face. The bloodline power and divine soul in his body were suppressed by a force, causing his cultivation to begin to weaken. What kind of technique is this? Qingquan's expression trembled when he realized the current state of his body. He felt some fear towards Emo Qingyun. As he continued to fight with Emo Qingyun, he realized that Emo Qingyun was like a bottomless black hole, giving off a mysterious, unknown, and dangerous feeling. Emo Qingyun chose to ignore Bai Qingquan's shock. After he unleashed the sealed door and weakened the 100 Transformations Qingquan's cultivation, he rushed towards the 100 Transformations Qingquan. Shaoza Heavenly Spirit Finger. Inaction Sky Concealing Finger. Middle Point Killing Finger. Devouring Spirit Finger. Great Heaven Devil Rays. Heavenly Flames Sky Breaking Halberd. When Emo Qingyun rushed towards Bai Qingquan, he used all the techniques he had at his disposal without holding back. Then, a terrifying aura burst forth from Emo Qingyun's fingertips and halberd. Very quickly, a number of imposing finger lights, together with a dragon shadow halberd light, charged towards the wind-fire rotating wheel. Bang bang bang. When the finger lights and halberd light collided with the wind-fire rotating wheel, there was an earth-shattering explosion. Soon after, a destructive spiritual energy storm spread out in the air. Facing the impact of the spiritual energy storm, the surrounding people's expressions trembled as they quickly fled for their lives. In the blink of an eye, everyone had fled thousands of miles away as they looked at the spiritual energy storm with lingering fear. Although everyone had avoided the spiritual energy storm, the juniors of the 100 Transformations family were not so lucky. Under the sweeping of the spiritual energy storm, 70% of the juniors of the 100 Transformations family were killed. Emo Qingyun, I'll grind your bones to dust. Seeing 70% of the juniors of the 100 Transformations family being killed by the spiritual energy storm in the blink of an eye, Qingquan's expression became ferocious. Shadow Snake Star Position. Bai Qingquan roared as he activated his star position and used the power of the star position to deal with Emo Qingyun. It seemed that Qingquan was really angry. Under the support of the star position, the aura emitted by Qingquan immediately increased by several folds. Seeing Bai Qingquan activating his star position, the surrounding people's expression changed as they revealed a shocked expression. This Emo Qingyun is too monstrous to be able to force Qingquan to activate his star position. But this way, this battle is also over. That's right, the reason why a star position expert is powerful is because of the support of the star position. The reason why Qingquan was killed was mainly because Emo Qingyun's attack was too sudden and he did not have the chance to activate his star position. To be able to force a star position expert to this extent, Emo Qingyun is enough to go down in history. Seeing Bai Qingquan's attack, everyone sighed as they felt that it was a pity for Emo Qingyun. If Emo Qingyun could survive today, his future achievements would be limitless. Patriarch, should we help Emo Qingyun? Seeing Emo Qingyun's current situation, an elder of the Ghost Moon family asked Gui Yu Baoping for his opinion. In his opinion, offending the 100 Transformation family for Emo Qingyun is a good deal. One must know that the people standing behind Emo Qingyun are the 3 old ancestors of the Eternal South Immortal Palace. Let me think about it. Hearing the question of the elders beside him, Gui Yu Baoping revealed a hesitant expression, unable to make a decision. Because of Emo Qingyun, more than half of the 100 transformation family's younger generation died. This is equivalent to cutting off the 100 transformation family's bloodline. Now, the hatred between Mo Qingyun and the 100 transformation family can be said to be irreconcilable. If the Ghost Moon family joins in now, the 100 transformation family will definitely go crazy and target the Ghost Moon family for revenge. As the patriarch, Guiyu Baoping has no choice but to carefully consider the consequences. Just as Guiyu Baoping was unable to make a decision, a terrifying star position energy suddenly erupted from Mo Qingyun's body. Humph! You're not the only one with a star position, I have also condensed a star position. After activating the unparalleled War God star position, Mo Qingyun was enveloped in a layer of golden light and erupted with a terrifying battle intent. Under this battle intent, Mo Qingyun's aura immediately increased by several times. Seeing this scene, everyone is dumbfounded. They feel that their brains are not enough to comprehend it. Star position. Mo Qingyun has actually condensed a star position. Aren't star positions only true immortal realm experts qualified to condense? How did Mo Qingyun do it? At this moment, everyone's heart is filled with puzzlement. They feel that their perception has been shattered. Illusion, it must be an illusion. Mo Qingyun is only at the immortal infant stage. How can he condense a star position? It's not as simple as condensing a star position. From the aura of Mo Qingyun's star position, it seems to be a constellation above the 9th heavenly layer. Constellation above the 9th heavenly layer. Lesser star position experts can only choose constellation below the 9th heavenly layer, right? This is too strange. Just who is this Mo Qingyun? Why would such a monster appear? The 100 transformation family offended Mo Qingyun. I wonder what kind of bad luck they have. At this moment, Mo Qingyun immediately became mysterious and strange in everyone's heart. Chapter 1436. A star position. Mo Qingyun has condensed a star position. Looking at the golden star position above Mo Qingyun, Guiyu Jianping's body stiffened. Never in his wildest dreams would he have thought that Mo Qingyun would be able to successfully condense a star position with his immortal infant cultivation base. While Guiyu Jianping was shocked, the elders of the Guiyu clan were also shocked. Of course, at the same time that they were shocked, they also felt some regret. Sigh. It seems that we've really missed the opportunity to befriend Mo Qingyun this time. Guiyu Jianping seemed to have aged a lot at this moment. He looked dispirited. He thought that he had seen countless people in his life. In the process of observing others, although it was impossible to see through a person completely, it was still possible to see through 7 or 8 layers. However, when he observed Mo Qingyun, he made mistakes again and again. He could not see through Mo Qingyun. Hearing Guiyu Jianping's words, the elders of the Guiyu clan looked sad and regretful. As the saying goes, some are happy and some are sad. While Guiyu Jianping and the others were having a headache, Chu Qingsong smiled brightly. Mr. Mo. He has condensed a star position. What a heaven-defying talent! Chu Qingsong's face was filled with excitement. His entire body trembled as he said helplessly, "If that's the case, then what young Master Mo said earlier wasn't nonsense. Perhaps he really does have the strength to uproot the 100 Faces clan." Thinking of this, Chu Qingsong was even more excited. His old face was flushed with excitement. If we can get Mr. Mo's help, I believe that in less than 1,000 years, our Chu clan will become a first-class force in the Yongnan celestial realm. At this moment, Chu Qingsong's heart was filled with strong expectations. As for Chu Yunyun and Chu Qingyun, their faces were flushed with excitement. Their beautiful eyes were focused on Mo Qingyun. Immediately, Mo Qingyun rushed toward Bai Chenkuan under everyone's gaze. Golden snake flashing halberd. When Mo Qingyun rushed toward Bai Chenkuan, his figure flashed and disappeared from everyone's perception. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, everyone was shocked again. They looked around nervously, trying to find Mo Qingyun's whereabouts. Bai Qingquan's mood was the same as everyone else's. When he found that Mo Qingyun's figure disappeared, he immediately focused his attention and tried to sense Mo Qingyun's existence. However, no matter how hard he tried, he still could not sense Mo Qingyun's existence. Bai Qingquan, who was confident just a moment ago, could not help but feel a little panic. Just as Bai Qingquan started to panic, a terrifying flame energy spread out from his back. Pucci. As soon as this flame energy appeared, a blazing halberd pierced through Bai Qingquan's back. The immortal burning battle halberd pierced through Bai Qingquan's back. Its attack power did not decrease in the slightest. It only stopped when it pierced through Bai Qingquan's body. "Kid, you're courting death." Seeing that his body was pierced, Bai Qingquan's expression became ferocious, and he let out a furious roar. Then, Bai Qingquan turned around and clawed at Mo Qingyun. Immortal technique, Dragon Hawk Sky Ripping Claw. Bai Qingquan's claw blasted out a terrifying immortal spiritual power, which turned into a huge eagle claw. As soon as this eagle claw appeared, it was like a mountain pressing down on Mo Qingyun. It was certain that if Mo Qingyun was hit by this claw, he would most likely be turned into tofu. Star Position Divine Fist. Facing Bai Qingquan's claw, Mo Qingyun did not dare to hesitate. He hurriedly punched at the huge claw. A terrifying star position power quickly gathered on Mo Qingyun's fist, emitting a dazzling golden light. Then, the dazzling golden light turned into a huge golden fist, meeting the huge eagle claw. Bang! When the golden fist and the eagle claw collided, a dazzling light immediately burst out, causing the surrounding people to be unable to open their eyes. At this moment, a destructive spiritual power storm burst out from the dazzling light. The spiritual power storm was too fast. Before Mo Qingyun and Bai Qingquan could turn around and escape, they were directly engulfed by the spiritual power storm. Qingyun! Mr. Mo. Patriarch! Seeing such a scene, the surrounding people immediately trembled and looked nervously at the center of the storm. Facing such a terrifying storm, would Mo Qingyun and Bai Qingquan be able to survive if they were engulfed? Could it be that they would perish together? At this moment, such a thought appeared in everyone's mind. Swish, 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 just as everyone was feeling nervous, several old figures suddenly appeared beside the 100 Change Family's Zhong'en. Greetings, old ancestor Yu Tan. Greetings, old ancestor Guan Feng. Seeing these people appear, the people of the Bai Qingquan were in awe and respectfully saluted them. Seeing the people of the Bai Qingquan in front of them, the old men's faces were gloomy and they questioned in a displeased tone, "What happened? How did the family become like this?" These old farts were in seclusion when they sensed the commotion outside and immediately ran out to take a look. They didn't expect to see such a scene. To put it bluntly, the current Bai Qingquan was almost annihilated. Hearing the questions of the old ancestors, the people of the Bai Qingquan looked at each other, not knowing how to answer. They couldn't say that the current state of the Bai Qingquan was caused by an immortal infant stage brat. A bunch of good-for-nothings. Seeing the people who wanted to speak but stopped, the Bai Qingquan snorted coldly and questioned them, "Where is Qing Kuan? Why isn't he here? After such a big thing happened, he's actually nowhere to be seen. Is this how a patriarch should behave?" Old ancestor, please calm down. Looking at the enraged 100 Change Feather altar, one of them tried to persuade him in a soft voice. Then, he pointed at the spiritual energy storm nearby and said, "Family head, he was accidentally swallowed by the spiritual energy storm while fighting with the invaders." Hearing this, the Bai Qingquan and the others looked at the spirit energy storm and their expressions instantly became serious. What a shocking battle shockwave. The person who can cause such a shockwave has to be at least a large star-rank cultivator. Looking at the spirit energy storm in front of him, 100 Changes Wind's face twitched, and a worried look appeared on his face. He said, "With the power of this spirit energy storm, even if a great star middle stage master is swallowed, they would still suffer some injuries. Qing Kuan's current situation is not good." Hearing the analysis of the Bai Qingkuan, the Bai Qingkuan's expression became even uglier and he asked with displeasure, "Who attacked my Bai Qingkuan? What is his cultivation? Is he a large star-rank mid-stage cultivator?" Hearing the words of the 100 Transformation Feather Altar, the members of the 100 Transformation clan smiled bitterly and shook their heads. Chapter 1437. Hearing the 100 Change Feather Altar's question, the members of the 100 Change clan shook their heads again and smiled bitterly. If it was really someone at the peak of the greater star realm, they would accept it and not feel so aggrieved. Shaking their heads again? Could it be someone at the constellation realm? Seeing the actions of the people in front of him, the 100 Change Feather Altar was confused and couldn't help but guess. However, he quickly rejected this idea and didn't think that it was someone at the constellation realm. If it was someone at the constellation realm, the 100 Change Feather Altar wouldn't fight alone and wouldn't ask them for help. Then what kind of enemy is it? The 100 Change Feather Altar was puzzled. He frowned and stared at the spiritual energy storm in the distance. Not long after, the spiritual energy storm in the distance gradually dissipated, revealing Mo Qingyun and Bai Qingkuan. At this moment, the 100 Change Feather Altar's clothes were in tatters and his body was covered in wounds. His aura was weak. Mo Qingyun, who stood opposite Bai Qingkuan, was dressed neatly and his aura was stable. At this moment, there was a stark contrast between Mo Qingyun and Bai Qingkuan. "You're fine." Seeing Mo Qingyun's natural expression, the 100 Change Feather Altar's eyes widened in disbelief. Even with his greater star realm cultivation base, under the impact of this storm, he was left with half his life. How could Mo Qingyun, who was only at the immortal infant stage, be completely fine? This was too abnormal. What the 100 Change Feather Altar didn't know was that Mo Qingyun's physical strength had already reached the level of a high-grade immortal artifact. As a result, his ability to withstand attacks was incomparable to that of an ordinary person. If one really had to measure, Mo Qingyun's ability to withstand attacks was comparable to that of an ordinary golden immortal stage cultivator. Are you surprised? Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and revealed a mocking expression. Next, there's something even more surprising. Divine Star Realm Fist. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he didn't waste any more words with Bai Qingkuan. His figure flashed as he charged towards him. Mo Qingyun punched out. Instantly, a terrifying power burst out, releasing a dazzling light. Very quickly, a huge golden fist formed in front of Mo Qingyun and blasted towards Bai Qingkuan. When Bai Qingkuan was at his peak condition, he couldn't even withstand one punch from Mo Qingyun, let alone now that he was at the end of his rope. Seeing the golden fist coming closer and closer, Qing Kuan's expression started to tremble. With a terrified tone, he shouted, "No. Don't. Brat, stop." Seeing Mo Qingyun make a move, the 100 Change Feather Altar's face sank. He hurriedly shouted at Mo Qingyun. While the 100 Transformations Feather Altar was berating Mo Qingyun, he also rushed towards the 100 Transformations Qing Kuan, prepared to block the punch for the 100 Transformations Qing Kuan. However, although the 100 Change Feather Altar's movements were fast, he wasn't as fast as the Divine Star Realm Fist. When the 100 Change Feather Altar flew 1,000 meters away, the Divine Star Realm Fist had already caught up with him and blasted towards the 100 Transformations Qing Kuan's back. Seeing the Divine Star Realm Fist coming towards him, the 100 Transformations Qing Kuan didn't dare to wait for death. He hurriedly blasted out a palm towards the Divine Star Realm Fist. Immortal Art, Chaotic Immortal Slaying Thunder Palm. Bai Qingkuan swung his palm and instantly, a terrifying lightning bolt spirit energy was released, dyeing half the sky silver. Immediately, a huge palm that was 100 meters long blasted out from the 100 transformations Cheng Kuan's palm, meeting the divine star realm fist head-on. Crack! Just as the huge palm came into contact with the divine star realm fist, it was blasted apart by the divine star realm fist and turned into a wisp of immortal spiritual power that drifted away. After the divine star realm fist blasted apart the huge palm, its attack power didn't decrease. It continued to chase after the 100 transformations Cheng Kuan. No, facing the divine star realm fist, the 100 transformations Cheng Kuan's face was as pale as paper. He shouted in despair. However, the divine star realm fist didn't show him any mercy because of his fear. Bang! The divine star realm fist blasted into the 100 transformations Cheng Kuan's chest, exploding with an earth-shattering sound and creating a semi-arc wave of air. Under the impact of this wave of air, the 100 transformations Cheng Kuan's body turned into sand bit by bit, turning into ashes in the blink of an eye. Emo Qingyun, I won't let you off. The moment his body was destroyed, the 100 transformations Cheng Kuan didn't dare to hesitate in the slightest and hurriedly escaped with his soul. However, just as his soul was about to leave his body, a black and white gourd suddenly appeared in the air above him. When this gourd appeared above the 100 transformations Cheng Kuan, it exploded with a terrifying suction force, tyrannically pulling the 100 transformations Cheng Kuan into the gourd. No, ancestor, save me! Sensing the terrifying suction force of the gourd, the 100 transformations Cheng Kuan's face was filled with panic and he begged for help from the nearby 100 transformations feather altar. But before he could finish speaking, he was sucked into the yin-yang mother-child gourd and quickly fell into Emo Qingyun's hands. Kid, seeing Emo Qingyun's actions, the 100 transformations feather altar's old face immediately darkened to the extreme, his deep eyes glaring angrily at Emo Qingyun. Emo Qingyun's actions were undoubtedly a challenge to his authority. Kid, how dare you ignore this old man's warning? In a moment, this old man will extract your soul and burn it with ghost fire day and night. Looking at Emo Qingyun with a sinister gaze, the 100 transformations feather altar gnashed his teeth and spat out a sinister sentence. As soon as the 100 transformations feather altar finished speaking, he prepared to attack Emo Qingyun. Ancestor feather altar, this kid's methods are strange. You must be careful. Seeing that the 100 transformations feather altar was about to attack Emo Qingyun, the expressions of the 100 transformations family members immediately changed and they hurriedly warned the 100 transformations feather altar. After seeing Emo Qingyun's astonishing methods time and time again, they instinctively believed that Emo Qingyun had even more powerful method. The truth was just as they thought. Emo Qingyun indeed had more powerful methods that he hadn't revealed just now, such as ghosts and the fusion gate. Humph. This old man is aware of that. Hearing the warning from the people behind him, the 100 transformations feather altar's old face was somewhat embarrassed and he responded with an unhappy tone. With his cultivation at the peak of the greater star realm, he actually had to be warned to be careful when dealing with an immortal infant stage brat. This was truly too embarrassing. Was he really that useless? Hearing the 100 transformations feather altar's displeased words, the expressions of the 100 transformations family members twitched and they didn't dare to say anything else. After reprimanding the 100 transformations family members, the 100 transformations feather altar's expression darkened. He looked at Emo Qingyun and said coldly, "Humph, you're just an immortal infant stage brat. So what if you have more methods? This old man doesn't believe that he can really defy the heavens in my hand." Old man, no wonder the 100 transformations family members love to boast. This is something passed down from your ancestors. Hearing the 100 transformations feather altar's words, Emo Qingyun disdainfully sneered and said, "Just now, the 100 transformations golden peak 100 transformations Yuanxiong, and 100 transformations Kuan all said that they would do something to me. In the end, they were all killed by me. So you'd better not speak carelessly. Chapter 1438. Come out. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished his words, he summoned a ghost and prepared to merge with it. Soon, an aura comparable to that of a great star realm pinnacle appeared beside Mo Qingyun. A great star realm ghost. Sensing the aura of the ghost, the surrounding people's faces twitched and they looked at Mo Qingyun in shock. That great star realm ghost, was it summoned by Mo Qingyun? It seems so. I didn't expect Mo Qingyun to have such a skill. No wonder he's so fearless. This Mo Qingyun is too mysterious. It's a big mistake for the ever-changing clan to offend him. Looking at the ghost beside Mo Qingyun, the surrounding people were shocked. The way they looked at Mo Qingyun changed greatly. At this moment, Mo Qingyun gave them the feeling that he was covered with a layer of black fog, giving people a mysterious and eerie feeling. A great star realm pinnacle ghost? Mo Qingyun can summon such a ferocious ghost? Seeing this scene, Gui Yujianpei's eyes widened instantly. His expression was full of disbelief. Mo Qingyun's current performance had truly frightened him quite a bit. It was completely beyond what he could bear. A great star realm pinnacle powerhouse was one of the top powerhouses even in the entire Yongnan immortal realm. Such a powerhouse was now controlled by a junior at the immortal infant stage. This was too illogical. Of course, while being shocked by Mo Qingyun's ability, Gui Yujianpei's remorse became stronger. It seemed that they had really made a mistake this time. A great star realm pinnacle ghost. This Mr. Mo is really something. Seeing the ghost beside Mo Qingyun, Chu Qingsong showed an excited expression and a bright smile appeared on his face. He knew that he had struck gold this time. With Mo Qingyun's current performance, even if the force behind him was not mentioned, it was still a terrifying force. With the protection of such an expert, the Chu clan's status in the Eternal South immortal domain would at least rise by several levels. A ghost with a cultivation base at the pinnacle of the major star realm. You do have some tricks and abilities. The 100 transformations feather altar was startled when he saw the ghost beside Mo Qingyun. He became rather stern and said, "You're still too naive if you think you can defeat me with just a ghost. Something as stupid as that won't be able to unleash the battle prowess of someone of the same cultivation level." In the eyes of the 100 transformations feather altar, no matter how powerful ghosts were, due to their low intelligence, their battle prowess was far inferior to humans. "Who told you that I'm going to let the ghosts fight with you?" Mo Qingyun curled his lips in disdain at the 100 transformation feather altar's speculation. He sighed inwardly at how imaginative this old fellow was. Mo Qingyun did not waste any more words on the 100 transformation feather altar as he unleashed the gate of fusion. Fusion Gate. A radiant gate of light quickly condensed in front of Mo Qingyun. After the fusion gate was formed, it split into two beams of light that enveloped Mo Qingyun and the ghost. Next, Mo Qingyun and the ghost's body began to fuse together. As Mo Qingyun fused with the ghost, his aura grew stronger and stronger. Soon, Mo Qingyun's aura reached the pinnacle of the major star realm. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, the surrounding people were dumbfounded once again. They felt that their brains were not enough to process this. What kind of powerful technique was this? Star Divine Fist. While everyone was shocked by Mo Qingyun's technique, Mo Qingyun's figure moved and quickly rushed toward the 100 transformation feather altar. About 10,000 meters away from the altar, Mo Qingyun tyrannically punched out with his right fist. A terrifying golden fist radiance erupted. The golden fist radiance's attack speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it arrived in front of the 100 transformation feather altar. What a powerful star realm energy! What kind of star realm did this kid condense? Sensing the might of Mo Qingyun's fist, the 100 transformation feather altar's expression trembled. He immediately withdrew his contempt for Mo Qingyun. Only now did he realize how terrifying this kid, who seemed to only be at the immortal infant stage, was. Immortal technique, soul-burning sacrifice. The 100 transformation feather altar took out a strange treasure cauldron. Souls flew out from it and trembled as they looked at the 100 transformation feather altar. Before these souls could beg for mercy, they were swallowed by a terrifying force and transformed by this force. Soon, these souls condensed into a huge figure that emitted a tyrannical and eerie aura. Sensing the aura of this huge figure, the surrounding people's expressions changed. Their faces were filled with fear and panic. Isn't this the forbidden technique, soul-refining mantra? I didn't expect the 100 transformation feather altar to have cultivated this technique. In order to successfully cultivate this technique, one must slaughter billions of living beings and collect their souls as a guide. The 100 transformation feather altar is so ruthless. It's because of this that the soul-refining mantra was listed as a forbidden technique. I didn't expect it to reappear. At this moment, the crowd looked at the 100 transformation feather altar with fear and hostility. A person like the 100 transformation feather altar definitely couldn't be tolerated. Otherwise, if he was allowed to grow, he would definitely become a scourge on the wild continent. Bang bang bang, while everyone was still in shock, the Star Realm Divine Fist and the huge figure collided violently. As the Star Realm Divine Fist and the huge figure collided, a terrifying storm immediately erupted, causing the sky and earth to change colors. Seeing this storm appear, the surrounding people hurriedly retreated, afraid that they would be caught up in it. With their strength, if they were caught up in the storm, they would most likely die. Crack crack crack, after being hit by the Star Realm Divine Fist, cracks began to appear on the body of the huge figure in the air. Seeing this, the 100 transformation feather altar's expression changed drastically. He said in horror, "No, impossible. Even if this kid uses external forces to raise his cultivation to the peak of the major star realm, he can't control this kind of combat power." Sky Soul Sealing Fist. Seeing the panicked 100 transformation feather altar, Mo Qingyun chuckled and punched him again. Soon, a huge black fist fell from the sky above the 100 transformation feather altar. Boom! Faced with the Sky Soul Sealing Fist, the 100 transformation feather altar couldn't dodge in time and was hit by the Sky Soul Sealing Fist. Immediately, the 100 transformation feather altar's body was sealed by a force and he lost the ability to move. What kind of ability is this? Realizing that he was sealed by a force, the 100 transformation feather altar was shocked and a sense of fear appeared in his heart. Mo Qingyun's methods were too strange. Every one of them had a unique ability that made it impossible for him to guard against them. Just as the 100 transformation feather altar was feeling fear, Mo Qingyun's figure moved and appeared in front of the 100 transformation feather altar in the blink of an eye. Great Sky Demon Finger. Mo Qingyun arrived in front of the 100 transformation feather altar. His attacks didn't stop as he pointed at the 100 transformation feather altar without hesitation. Chapter 1439. No. Facing the great heavenly demon finger's overbearing attack, the 100 transformation feather altar's eyes widened as he screamed in horror. Unfortunately, the great heavenly demon finger's attack didn't stop and continued to attack him. Boom! The great celestial demon finger slammed into the shape-shifting feather altar, swallowing it up in an instant. Then, the crowd saw the great heavenly demon finger transform into a black streak of light that brought the 100 transformation feather altar to the ground. Feather altar's ancestor. Uncle Feather Altar. Seeing the 100 transformation feather altar being hit by the great heavenly demon finger, the 100 transformation family members panicked and chased after the great heavenly demon finger. The The 100 Transformation Feather Altar was the #1 expert of the 100 Transformation family and was their pillar of support. If the 100 Transformation Feather Altar was killed, the 100 Transformation family would be finished. Boom! The great heavenly demon finger slammed into the ground with the 100 Transformation Feather Altar, creating an earth-shattering explosion that created a sandstorm that blotted out the sky. Not long after, the area within 100 miles was filled with a violent cloud of dust. The 100 Transformation family members who were chasing after the great heavenly demon finger all stopped in their tracks with grave expressions. Given their strength, if they entered the sandstorm, they might not even be able to save their own lives, let alone save the 100 Transformation Feather Altar. Immediately, everyone revealed nervous expressions as they stared intently at the terrifying sandstorm. Emo Chingyun is too terrifying. Even the 100 Transformation Feather Altar can't stop him. Is this kid really at the immortal infant stage? If he's already so powerful at the immortal infant stage, how powerful will he be once he reaches the true immortal stage? Monster, a peerless monster. Such a person's future achievements are immeasurable. He might even create a legend. From what I know, there hasn't been a monster like Emo Chingyun in the Wasteland continent's history in the last million years. Seeing Emo Chingyun's performance, everyone's hearts trembled. They were frightened by Emo Chingyun's actions. Hiss, even the 100 Transformation Feather Altar was defeated. This Emo Chingyun is too monstrous. Seeing the state of the 100 Change Feather Altar, Ghost Moon Baku Ping sucked in a breath of cold air. He was so scared that his body started to tremble. At this moment, he no longer felt admiration for Emo Chingyun. Instead, he felt fear. The strength of the Ghost Moon clan's ancestor was on par with the 100 Transformation Feather Altar. Now that Emo Chingyun could defeat the 100 Transformation Feather Altar, he could easily defeat the Ghost Moon clan's ancestor. In other words, Emo Chingyun had the power to destroy the Ghost Moon clan. Brother Emo, you are my idol. I, Guiyu Min, admire you. Seeing the 100 Change Feather Altar being blasted away, Guiyu Min became excited. He waved his hands and shouted. Sacred Emissary Hanning's emotions were similar to Guiyu Min's. Chingyun, he has already grown to such an extent? Looking at Emo Chingyun, whose clothes and hair fluttered in the wind, Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao and Chu Yunyun were mesmerized. Such a man was fighting the 100 Transformation clan alone for their sake. He was establishing his prestige with thunderous momentum. He really did it. Mr. Mo didn't lie. Chu Qingsong was so excited that his old face trembled. Tears flowed from his eyes. He didn't know how to express his feelings. Judging from the current situation, the rise of the Chu clan seemed to be unstoppable. After a while, the majestic sandstorm gradually dissipated under everyone's gaze. As the sandstorm dissipated, a huge pit with a depth of 10,000 meters and a diameter of 10,000 meters appeared in front of everyone's eyes. Asterisk whoosh whoosh whoosh. Asterisk seeing that the sandstorm had dissipated, the people from the 100 Transformation clan turned into afterimages and rushed towards the ground. Not long after, the people from the 100 Transformations clan entered the pit and found the 100 Transformations Feather Altar in a sorry state. Ancestor Feather Altar. Uncle Feather Altar. Great Ancestor Feather Altar. When everyone saw the 100 Transformations Feather Altar in the crater, they all revealed nervous expressions as they stared at it. Asterisk cough cough cough. Asterisk under the gaze of the 100 Transformation clan members, the 100 Transformation Feather Altar slowly straightened his body and coughed out blood. Ancestor, how are you? Seeing the 100 Transformation Feather Altar in such a state, everyone looked worried and surrounded him. Seeing the crowd surrounding him, the 100 Transformation Feather Altar waved his hand and said in a weak voice, "Don't panic, everyone. I won't die." Hearing the 100 transformation feather altar's words, everyone's expressions relaxed and their hearts were finally at ease. After explaining his situation to everyone, the 100 transformation feather altar's expression immediately turned serious. He said in a deep voice, "This kid is not simple. I'm afraid I can't deal with him alone. Let's work together to deal with him." When the 100 transformation feather altar said this, his expression was filled with bitterness. Although he didn't want to admit that his strength was inferior to Emo Qingyun's, he had to admit it. Otherwise, if he continued to deal with Emo Qingyun alone, he might end up like Bai Qingquan. Hearing the 100 transformation feather altar's words, the 100 transformation clan members fell silent. Their hearts instantly became heavy. If they knew that Emo Qingyun was so monstrous, they wouldn't have provoked Emo Qingyun and caused such a calamity for the 100 transformation clan. Thinking of this, everyone revealed sinister gazes and looked at the main culprit, the 100 transformation golden peak. If he didn't want to marry Gui Yu Xiaoxiao, the 100 transformation clan wouldn't have suffered such a calamity. Seeing everyone's furious gazes, the 100 transformation golden peak trembled in fear and his face turned even paler. "All right, now isn't the time to find out who's responsible. Let's deal with Emo Qingyun first." Seeing everyone's furious expressions, the 100 transformation feather altar waved his hand and told them the most important thing right now. Yes. Immediately, the 100 transformation clan members no longer hesitated and rushed towards Emo Qingyun. Seeing everyone rushing towards him, Emo Qingyun's expression changed slightly. He revealed a mocking smile and said, "What's wrong? You can't do it alone, so you want to win with numbers?" Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, the 100 transformation clan members blushed with sweat and felt ashamed. They had all lived for tens of thousands of years. Now, they actually wanted to team up against a brat who wasn't even 100 years old. If this matter were to spread, it would be embarrassing. Humph. Since ancient times, the winner takes all. As long as we can obtain the final victory, it doesn't matter what method we use. The 100 transformation feather altar was the first to calm down. He angrily snorted and defended himself. With regards to the 100 transformation feather altar's defense, Emo Qingyun didn't say much. The smile on his face became wider as he said, "Since you want to compete with numbers, don't blame me." Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, the faces of the 100 transformation feather altar and the others twitched. They looked around with fear. Could it be that Emo Qingyun had helpers? At this moment, such a thought rose in the hearts of the 100 transformation clan members. If that was the case, it wouldn't be good for them. Chapter 1440. While the members of the 100 Change clan were panicking, one figure after another appeared beside Emo Qingyun. After these figures appeared, they exuded a terrifying aura and shrouded the members of the 100 Change clan. Ghosts. A large group of ghosts. Seeing the large group of ghosts beside Emo Qingyun, the members of the 100 Change clan were stunned and felt a chill run down their spine. Only now did they realize how wrong it was to bully Emo Qingyun with numbers. Of course, the members of the 100 Change clan were not the only ones who were shocked. So many ghosts. Did Emo Qingyun summon all these ghosts? Who is Emo Qingyun? Why does he have so many ghosts guarding him? One more than 100 greater star realm ghosts, thousands of lesser star realm ghosts, tens of thousands of profound star realm ghosts. The overall combat power of these ghosts is no weaker than the Eternal South Immortal Palace. This is too scary. Seeing the ghosts beside Emo Qingyun, the surrounding people trembled and equated Emo Qingyun with the Eternal South Immortal Palace. How many trump cards does he have? Seeing Emo Qingyun's performance, Ghost Moon Baku Ping trembled and found it difficult to breathe. If Emo Qingyun's previous performance had shocked him, then Emo Qingyun's current performance was enough to terrify him. Not only Ghost Moon Baku Ping, but even Chu Qingsong was scared half to death by Emo Qingyun's performance. This was because Mo Qingyun's current performance had already exceeded what he could bear. Tens of thousands of true Immortal Realm experts, thousands of lesser Star Realm experts, and hundreds of greater Star Realm experts. What kind of strength was this? At this moment, Chu Qingsong no longer had any idea what was going on. If the Eternal South Immortal Palace did not step in, the other forces in the Eternal South Immortal Realm would not be able to suppress Mo Qingyun. Yunyun, is this still the Qingyun we know? Don't you think it's a little strange? I don't think so. I think Qingyun looks even more handsome and mighty like this. Chu Yunyun and Mo Qingyun chatted and laughed as they looked at Mo Qingyun, who was hovering in the air and exuding a demonic aura. While everyone's attention was on Mo Qingyun waved his hand at the ghosts beside him and shouted, "Kill them all!" Roar. Receiving Mo Qingyun's signal, these ghosts didn't dare to disobey and immediately charged towards the 100 Transformations clan. Not long after, the remaining members of the 100 Change clan were swallowed up by a large number of ghosts. Seeing the members of the 100 Faces clan being surrounded and devoured by the ghosts in the blink of an eye, Mo Qingyun surveyed the battlefield. Soon, Mo Qingyun saw a panicked face in the crowd. This person was none other than the severely injured 100 Transformations Golden Peak. Who would have thought that he would still be alive? Seeing that 100 Transformations Golden Peak was still alive, Mo Qingyun sneered and slowly flew towards him. Not long after, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of 100 Transformations Golden Peak and said with a cold expression, "100 Transformations Golden Peak, I told you before that I will cut off one of your arms again today. Now I will fulfill that promise." "No. Don't." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, 100 Transformations Golden Peak's body immediately trembled and a pleading expression appeared on his face as he cried, "Mo Qingyun, don't cut off my arm. Don't kill me, I didn't touch Ghost Moon Xiao. I will return her to you now, please don't." Without waiting for 100 Transformations Golden Peak to finish his words, Mo Qingyun waved his palm at him. A terrifying immortal spiritual energy blasted out from Mo Qingyun's palm and turned into a sharp blade. Poochie! The blade flashed and directly cut off 100 Transformations Golden Peak's arm, causing his injuries to worsen. After his arm was cut off by Mo Qingyun, 100 Transformations Golden Peak looked at Mo Qingyun with a pale face and said, "Mo Qingyun, you have already cut off one of my arms, can you let me go now? I didn't say that I would spare your life after cutting off one of your arms." Mo Qingyun shook his head and rejected 100 Transformations Golden Peak's request. His expression gradually turned cold as he said, "100 Transformations Golden Peak, I have given you many chances, but you didn't know how to cherish them. Don't blame me for this." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, 100 Transformations Golden Peak's face turned even paler. He glared at Mo Qingyun and roared, "Mo Qingyun, I don't mind telling you that the Eternal South Immortal Palace has been targeted by a group of mysterious people. Even if you kill me today, you won't live for long, haha. Looks like you already know. No wonder you dare to attack me." Seeing 100 Transformations Golden Peak's reaction, Mo Qingyun's face showed a look of understanding. He understood why the people of 100 Transformations clan dared to attack him. 100 Transformations clan already knew about the incident at the Eternal South Immortal Palace. They knew that Mo Qingyun was about to lose his backing. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared to attack Mo Qingyun so brazenly. After all, if they killed Mo Qingyun, they would suffer the revenge of Shi Yingfeng and the others. That was a very scary thing. Die. Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment. His expression turned cold as a ray of saber light shot out from his right eye. The ray of saber light shot out and disappeared in a flash, directly blasting 100 Transformations Golden Peak's head. When the ray of saber light blasted 100 Transformations Golden Peak's head, it also destroyed 100 Transformations Golden Peak's soul. Shortly after, the 100 Transformations Golden Peak became a headless corpse and fell from the sky. After killing 100 Transformations Golden Peak, Mo Qingyun didn't attack again. He just watched the battle in front of him silently. Under the siege of a large number of ghosts, the people of 100 Transformations clan were in a precarious situation. They could die at the hands of the ghosts at any time. This can't go on. We will be exhausted to death by the ghosts sooner or later. Looking at the large number of ghosts in front of him, 100 Transformations Feather Alter's expression turned solemn. He was thinking about how to resolve this crisis. Hearing 100 Transformations Feather Alter's words, an elder of 100 Transformations clan next to him said with a resolute expression, "Great-grandfather Feather Alter, judging from the current situation, our 100 Transformations clan can't hold on. Why don't we retreat?" "That's right. If we survive, we can still rise again in the future." Hearing the old man's thoughts, the other old man beside him quickly expressed his approval of his suggestion. 100 Transformations Feather Alter looked conflicted when he saw the two's plan. He couldn't come to a decision for a moment. After a short while, 100 Transformations Feather Alter gritted his teeth and said with a fierce expression, "These ghosts are all under Mo Qingyun's control. As long as we kill Mo Qingyun, these ghosts won't be a threat. The most important thing now is to kill Mo Qingyun. Great Uncle Feather Alter is right. If Mo Qingyun doesn't die, he won't let us escape. In that case, let's not delay any longer. Let's join forces and kill Mo Qingyun immediately." "Alright, then let's stake it all on one throw and risk our lives to kill Mo Qingyun." Hearing 100 Transformations Feather Alter's suggestion, everyone nodded in agreement. They also felt that killing Mo Qingyun was the key. Chapter 1441. You want to team up against me? Mo Qingyun narrowed his eyes as he looked at the 100 Transformation Feather Alter and the others who were flying towards him. His expression was filled with mockery. Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. Without any hesitation, he immediately used 2 of his mystiques to increase his combat strength. Blood Chi Berserk, God of War Transformation. Following that, Mo Qingyun's body changed once again. In an instant, he became several times larger. At the same time, the aura that Mo Qingyun exuded also increased rapidly. In a short while, the aura that Mo Qingyun exuded rose from the peak of the major star position to the constellation position. As Mo Qingyun's cultivation reached the constellation position, in the distant galaxy, a planet suddenly shone brightly. As the planet shone brightly, its light streaked across the sky and penetrated the distant boundary. Following that, everyone saw a beam of light enveloping Mo Qingyun. Under the cover of this beam of light, Mo Qingyun immediately felt a violent energy surge through his body. Roar. When this violent energy appeared, Mo Qingyun felt like he had to vent it out. He could not help but roar towards the sky. With Mo Qingyun's angry roar, a wave of spiritual energy surged out and spread towards the surroundings. Under the impact of this wave of spiritual energy, some of the weaker people and ghosts in the vicinity were sent flying at an extremely fast speed. Constellation position. Seeing this scene, the expressions of the 100 Transformation Feather Alter and the others twitched. They were so frightened that their eyes widened and their faces turned pale. Although the constellation position and the major star position were only one line apart, the difference in combat strength between the two was thousands of miles. How can this be? How can his cultivation reach the constellation position? What kind of mystique does this kid have to be able to increase his cultivation like this? Run. This kid is no longer someone we can fight against. Sensing Mo Qingyun's aura, the expressions of the 100 Transformation Feather Alter and the others changed drastically. They did not dare to fight with Mo Qingyun again. Seeing that the 100 Transformation Feather Alter and the others were trying to escape, Mo Qingyun's eyes flashed with a golden light. He shouted angrily, "You want to escape? It's too late." With Mo Qingyun's angry roar, The sky changed color and the mountains shook. The power of lightning appeared in the sky. At this moment, Emo Qingyun was like a true god. Then, everyone saw Emo Qingyun chasing after the 100 transformation feather altar and the others. Seeing Emo Qingyun's performance, the surrounding people were dumbfounded. They were so scared that they trembled all over and felt cold all over. From the looks of it, if nothing unexpected happened, they would not be able to escape this calamity today. From Emo Qingyun's current performance, he can already borrow the power of a planet. Is this the power of a constellation expert? As expected of a true Star Lord. Seeing the domineering Emo Qingyun, everyone was in awe. They could not help but sigh in their hearts. A constellation expert had already surpassed the ranks of ordinary immortals. He was a true immortal. Emo Qingyun's current battle strength is probably not weaker than a late-stage constellation expert. Ghost Moon Baked Flat smiled bitterly and said a powerless sentence. His entire body went limp as he sat down cross-legged. Guiyu Baoping was not the only one. Guiyu Min was the same. He looked at Emo Qingyun with fear. In just a few months, the gap between us and him seems to have widened. It seems that no matter how hard we work, we can't catch up to him. That's good too. It's a good feeling to be able to look up at his back. Guiyu Xiao and Chu Yunyun's faces were filled with emotions. Their emotions became extremely complicated as they spoke one sentence after another. Under everyone's gaze, Emo Qingyun caught up with 100 Change Feather Altar and the others in a few flashes. Soul Prison. Emo Qingyun chased after 100 Transformations Feather Altar and the others. His left eye flashed with purple light, and a wave of soul power burst forth. The soul power turned into soul chains and smashed into the sea of consciousness of 100 Change Feather Altar and the others. Attacked by the soul chains, 100 Change Feather Altar and the others paused. Their escape was somewhat hindered. While they paused, Emo Qingyun took out the Immortal Immolation War Halberd and pierced through one of their heads. Pucci. Under Emo Qingyun's halberd, this person didn't even have time to call for help before his soul was scattered by Emo Qingyun. When Emo Qingyun killed this person, 100 Change Feather Altar and the others calmed down. They shouted with grief and anger, "Emo Qingyun, you actually killed Qinjun. This old man will remember this." Although 100 Change Feather Altar and the others were angry, they didn't dare to delay and quickly fled. Seeing the 100 Transformation Feather Altar and the others fleeing for their lives, Emo Qingyun did not let them go and relentlessly chased after them. While Emo Qingyun was pursuing the 100 Transformations Feather Altar and the others, he also ordered a dozen or so peak constellation realm ghosts to join him in attacking the 100 Transformations Feather Altar and the others. Following that, Emo Qingyun chased after the 100 Transformations Feather Altar while releasing Soul Prison to interfere. Finally, the altar was intercepted. Could it be that the heavens want my 100 Change clan to die? Seeing their escape route blocked by Emo Qingyun and the ghosts, 100 Change Feather Altar revealed a sorrowful expression. 100 Change clan had been passed down for tens of thousands of years and had always been prosperous. They didn't expect to be defeated by him. Kill. Emo Qingyun didn't care about the 100 Transformation Feather Altar's grief. He ordered the ghosts to kill the 100 Transformation Feather Altar's people. Receiving Emo Qingyun's order, the ghosts revealed ferocious expressions. They bared their fangs and brandished their claws as they pounced on 100 Change Feather Altar. Soon, 100 Change Feather Altar and the others fell into a bitter battle. They were surrounded by many ghosts. However, what scared the 100 Transformation Feather Altar the most was the nearby Emo Qingyun, who was eyeing them covetously. With Emo Qingyun's current strength, if he wanted to ambush them, they definitely wouldn't be able to stop him. However, sometimes the more afraid something was, the more likely it was to happen. Soul Prison. Just as 100 Change Feather Altar and the others were afraid, Mo Qingyun's left eye flashed with a cold light and burst out with soul power. Immediately, one person was attacked by this soul power. His soul was sealed and his consciousness became sluggish. Rip, rip, as this person's consciousness sank, his body was torn to pieces by the ghosts in the blink of an eye. Yang Xian. 100 Change Feather Alter's eyes turned red when he saw that person's body being torn apart by the ghosts. He wore a pained expression. However, before 100 Change Feather Alter could recover from his grief, another member of 100 Change Clan was killed by Mo Qingyun. About 15 minutes later, under the joint attack of Mo Qingyun and the ghosts, 100 Change Feather Alter and the others were killed. Not even their souls were left behind. After killing 100 Change Feather Alter and the others, Mo Qingyun wanted 100 Change Clan to return and kill the rest. By the time Mo Qingyun returned, the other members of 100 Change Clan had all been killed by the ghosts. Chapter 1442. The 100 Transformations Clan was destroyed. A youth who was only at the immortal infant stage and had many powerful abilities had single-handedly destroyed the 100 Transformations Clan. When the surrounding people received this result, they were all stunned on the spot. They were unable to believe that this was real for a long time. This was because all of this was simply too surreal. It gave them a feeling that it was very unreal. After Mo Qingyun destroyed the 100 Transformations Clan, he brought the surrounding ghosts and entered the 100 Transformations Manor. Although a small portion of the manor was destroyed in the battle between Mo Qingyun and the others, most of the courtyards were still intact. However, most of the courtyards were still there. Thus, there should still be some treasures in the 100 Changes Manor. After Mo Qingyun entered the 100 Transformations Manor, he ordered some ghosts to guard the entrance and exit of the 100 Transformations Manor to prevent random people from entering. After receiving Mo Qingyun's instructions, these ghosts immediately divided up and went to guard the various entrances and exits of the 100 Transformations Manor. Seeing the ghosts guarding the entrances and exits, a few people who wanted to fish in troubled waters immediately put away their little schemes. Although a large clan like the 100 Transformations Clan had many treasures that made them very envious, they still didn't want them. However, judging from the current situation, it was better for them to give up on this idea, lest they go for wool and come home shorn. Didn't they see how a large clan like the 100 Transformations Clan was tyrannically destroyed by Mo Qingyun just because they offended Mo Qingyun? Following this, Mo Qingyun wantonly looted the 100 Transformations Clan under everyone's envious gazes. Several hours later, Mo Qingyun walked out of the 100 Transformations Manor with a satisfied smile. With the help of many ghosts, the 100 Transformations Clan's 10,000 years of treasures were all looted by him. The 100 Transformations Clan is truly worthy of being a clan with 10,000 years of history. The richness of their wealth is truly extraordinary. After coming out of the 100 Transformations Manor, Mo Qingyun revealed a satisfied smile and said emotionally, "Although the deity I Manor's harvest is bountiful, in terms of quantity, it can't compare to the 100 Transformations Clans. Because the owner of the deity I Manor was powerful, the items he collected were all very precious. But because of this, his collection was very few and not as useful as the 100 Transformations Clans." After coming out of the 100 Transformations Clan, Mo Qingyun put away all the ghosts and flew towards Chu Yunyun and the others. Not long after, Mo Qingyun arrived before Chu Yunyun and the others. He said to Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao, "The 100 Change Clan has been destroyed. Consider it their punishment for bullying you." "Qingyun, thank you." Hearing this, Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao looked incredibly touched and shyly thanked him. At this moment, Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao felt like she was dreaming. She couldn't help but think back to a year ago when she first met Mo Qingyun. Thinking up to this point, Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao felt a sense of joy at her actions back then. Let's go. Seeing that the 100 Transformations clan was destroyed, Mo Qingyun didn't want to stay any longer and told everyone to leave. Okay. Receiving Mo Qingyun's instructions, Chu Qingsong's body trembled and conveyed Mo Qingyun's message. Now in Chu Qingsong's eyes, Mo Qingyun was a tyrant. He was the Chu clan's backer. Hearing Chu Qingsong's instructions, the Chu clan didn't delay and immediately returned to the Chu clan. Just as Mo Qingyun and the others were about to leave, Ghost Moon Baku brought the Ghost Moon clan's people and arrived in front of Mo Qingyun and the others. Xiao Xiao, it was all our fault. Please forgive our negligence. We didn't take your feelings into consideration. Standing in front of Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao, Ghost Moon Baku Ping had an ashamed expression and sincerely apologized to Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao. Seeing Ghost Moon Baku Ping's actions, Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao slightly frowned. She looked at the Ghost Moon clan's people with disdain and said, "Patriarch, you guys didn't do anything wrong. There's no need to apologize to me. If it wasn't for Qingyun's strength, even if you guys did something wrong, you wouldn't apologize to me." Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao didn't have any feelings for the Ghost Moon clan. She only felt a sense of belonging. Previously, Guiyu, Yan Ping and the others had used her as a tool. The sense of belonging she had in her heart had instantly disappeared. What's there to be reluctant to part with a clan that used you as a tool? The feeling of being betrayed wasn't good at all. Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao, is this the attitude you use when speaking to your family's assistant? Hearing Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao's words, an elder of the Ghost Moon clan immediately reprimanded her. Then, the elder put on an arrogant expression and looked at Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao with disdain. At this moment, the elder's sense of superiority was completely exposed. Seeing the elder's actions, Ghost Moon Baku Ping's expression trembled. He immediately reprimanded him. "Elder Ji Su, don't be rude. What a joke, the person behind Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao is a terrifying existence that annihilated the 100 Change clan. They are now trying to curry favor with Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao in order to form a good relationship with this person. But now, this elder Ji Su didn't lower himself to apologize to Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao. Instead, he loudly reprimanded her. This is clearly courting death. It's fine if he dies alone, but if the entire Ghost Moon clan is dragged down, then the result will be very bad." Guiyu Ba Ping scolded Elder Ji Su. His face became even uglier. He said in an unhappy tone, "Elder Ji Su, you go back to the clan now. Go to the ancestral hall and repent. Without my order, you are not allowed to step out of the ancestral hall." "Yes." Hearing Ghost Moon Baku Ping's words, Elder Ji Su immediately realized that he lost his composure. He looked at Mo Qingyun with respect. Then, Elder Ji Su didn't dare to stay any longer and prepared to return to the Ghost Moon clan. With his intelligence, he naturally knew that Ghost Moon Baku Ping's actions seemed like a punishment, but it was actually a form of protection for him. If he left now, he could avoid Mo Qingyun's punishment and avoid a disaster. Unfortunately, they underestimated Mo Qingyun's intelligence. "Stop." Seeing that Elder Ji Su was about to leave, Mo Qingyun coldly and angrily shouted. He looked at Ghost Moon Baku Ping with a cold expression and said, "Since you want to punish, then do something more practical. This kind of deceitful action is not allowed." Then, according to Mr. Mo's words? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Ghost Moon Baku Ping's expression trembled. He knew that his trick was seen through. The only thing he could do now was to please Mo Qingyun as much as possible so that Mo Qingyun wouldn't vent his anger on the Ghost Moon clan. Even if he had to sacrifice some people to resolve Mo Qingyun's displeasure towards the Ghost Moon clan, it was very worth it. "Master Baku Ping, you're really good. For the benefit of the clan, you're willing to give up any chess piece." Mo Qingyun looked at Ghost Moon Baku Ping with a faint smile and said sarcastically. His expression turned cold and said, If that's the case, then I won't hold back. Chapter 1443. A beam of spiritual soul power suddenly burst out from Mo Qingyun's left eye and blasted into Elder Ji-Su's sea of consciousness. Elder Ji-Su's face turned pale after being hit by Mo Qingyun's soul attack, and he spat out a large amount of blood. Then, Elder Ji-Su's eyes became empty, and he became like a statue, without any consciousness or thoughts. Elder Ji-Su. Seeing Elder Ji-Su's condition, Ghost Moon Huan Ping and the others were shocked and looked at Elder Ji-Su nervously. But everyone's actions were the same. They didn't do anything other than showing a nervous expression. While everyone was nervously looking at Elder Ji-Su, Mo Qingyun's right eye shot out another I-Force blade light. Poochie! The I-Force blade light was extremely fast, and it hit Elder Ji-Su's head in the blink of an eye and blew it up. When Elder Ji-Su's head was blown up, his soul was also blown up, and he died under Mo Qingyun's I-Force. Seeing this scene, Ghost Moon, Yen Ping, and the others widened their eyes. They were shocked by Mo Qingyun's decisive action. But they didn't dare to blame Mo Qingyun, and they didn't even dare to show their dissatisfaction. From Mo Qingyun's action of killing Elder Ji-Su, they could see that if Mo Qingyun wanted to kill them, he wouldn't hesitate. Take away Elder Ji-Su's body. Ghost Moon Huan Ping looked at Elder Ji-Su's body with a complicated expression and waved to the people behind him. After receiving Ghost Moon Huan Ping's signal, the youths of the Ghost Moon clan quickly took Elder Ji-Su's body away. After taking care of Elder Ji-Su's body, Ghost Moon Huan Ping looked at Mo Qingyun with a pleading gaze and said, "Mr. Mo, as one of the forces of the Eternal South Immortal Palace, the Ghost Moon clan is under pressure from many forces. Therefore, for the sake of the clan, I sometimes have to make some decisions against my will. This time, I was wrong, please give us a chance to make up for it." After hearing this, Mo Qingyun turned to look at Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao. He wanted to see what she thought. When Mo Qingyun looked at Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao, Ghost Moon Ba Ping also looked at Sacred Emissary Han Ning. Saint Emissary Han Ning was Gui Yu Xiao Zhao's great-grandmother. If she spoke up to persuade Gui Yu Xiao Xiao, the effect would be better. Saint Emissary Han Ning sighed and tried to persuade Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao. "Xiao Xiao, the family head has his own difficulties. Since you're safe this time, you should give the family a chance to make up for it. No matter what, as long as our Ghost Moon clan prospered for a long time, our clansmen from the Ghost Road will have a stable place to stay when they come to the Wild Continent." After hearing Saint Emissary Han Ning's explanation, Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao frowned. She felt that Saint Emissary Han Ning's words made sense. At this moment, the resentment in Ghost Moon Xiao Zhao's heart seemed to have lessened a lot. Her brows gradually relaxed. Seeing the dissatisfaction in Ghost Moon Xiao Zhao's face gradually disappear, Ghost Moon Ba Ping's face lit up. He quickly invited Mo Qingyun and the others. "Everyone, this is not the place to talk. Please follow me to the Ghost Moon clan. I'll entertain you." Hearing Ghost Moon Ba Ping's invitation, Chu Qing Song and the others looked at Mo Qingyun. They wanted to hear Mo Qingyun's decision. In the hearts of Chu Qing Song and the others, Mo Qingyun had already become their pillar of support. Everything depended on Mo Qingyun. "Let's go. There's no harm in making a trip to the Ghost Moon clan. After all, we'll pass by Ghost Luo City on the way to the Chu clan." Under everyone's gaze, Mo Qingyun indifferently nodded and accepted Ghost Moon Ba Ping's invitation. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had spoken, everyone didn't waste any more time and began their journey to the Ghost Moon clan. About a day later, Mo Qingyun and the others arrived at the Ghost Moon clan. "Everyone, please follow me." After bringing Mo Qingyun and the others to the Ghost Moon clan, Ghost Moon Ba Ping personally led the way and arranged accommodations for Mo Qingyun and the others. Seeing that Ghost Moon Ba Ping had arranged accommodations for Mo Qingyun and himself, Chu Qing Song was flattered. He quickly smiled at Ghost Moon Ba Ping and said, Patriarch Ba Ping, you're too polite. I'm flattered that you've personally arranged accommodations for us. Chu Ching Song didn't expect that Ghost Moon Ba Ping would receive him so warmly. This was too unexpected. Chu Ching Song didn't know that in Ghost Moon Ba Ping's eyes, he was now Mo Qingyun's favorite person. Ghost Moon Ba Ping treated him like this because he wanted to use him as a bridge to get closer to Mo Qingyun. Patriarch Chu's words are too serious. Our clans are old friends. Since you've come to my Ghost Moon clan, I naturally have to personally receive you. Ghost Moon Ba Ping chuckled and patted Chu Ching Song's shoulder as if they've known each other for many years. Looking at Ghost Moon Ba Ping's action, Chu Ching Song couldn't help but bitterly smile. He sighed in his heart. If he remembered correctly, this was the first time he spoke to Ghost Moon Ba Ping, and also the first time he came to the Ghost Moon clan. If that's the case, where did Ghost Moon Ba Ping's so-called old friends come from? To put it bluntly, Chu Ching Song borrowed Mo Qingyun's light to make Ghost Moon Ba Ping value him. If it wasn't for Mo Qingyun, he would be thankful if an elder came to receive him when he came to the Ghost Moon clan. Of course, although Chu Ching Song thought this in his heart, he wouldn't say it out loud. No matter what, it's a great honor for Chu clan to have a good relationship with the Ghost Moon clan. After a while, Ghost Moon Ba Ping arranged a place for Chu Ching Song and left with the Ghost Moon clan. Mo Qingyun's small courtyard. A figure sneaked in stealthily from outside the courtyard. Ghost Moon Min, why are you here? Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao didn't know about the relationship between Mo Qingyun and Ghost Moon Min. She was surprised to see Ghost Moon Min here. Hearing Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao's words, Ghost Moon Min was shocked and his expression became more guilty. Not long ago, Ghost Moon Ba Ping sternly said that without his permission, no one in the Ghost Moon clan is allowed to disturb Mo Qingyun. However, when he thought of his relationship with Mo Qingyun, he decided to sneak over. Gui Yu Min revealed an awkward expression. He smiled at Gui Yu and said, A few days ago, I caused some trouble in Gui Luo City. I would like to ask Brother Mo to help me settle it. Hearing this, Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao couldn't help but frown. She felt helpless towards this Ghost Moon Min. She understood Ghost Moon Min. This guy doesn't learn anything and likes to wander around causing trouble. But Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao doesn't hate him. When they were in the Ghost Moon clan, Ghost Moon Min always took care of her. At this time, Mo Qingyun walked out of the room and looked at Ghost Moon Min not far away. He smiled and said, Young Master Min, you're here. Please take a seat. Thank you. Chapter 1444. Help. Knowing Gui Yuemin's intention, Mo Qingyun was slightly surprised. He asked curiously, Tell me, what do you want me to help with? Seeing Gui Yuemin beside him, Gui Yuemin revealed an awkward expression and was a little embarrassed to speak. I still have something to discuss with Yunyun, so I won't accompany you here. Understanding Gui Yuemin's meaning, Gui Yuemin quickly got up and walked towards Chu Yunyun's room. Seeing Gui Yuemin walk away, Gui Yuemin smiled awkwardly and whispered to Mo Qingyun, It's like this, a year ago, I met a girl by chance. Just now, I heard from a friend that she came to me with a baby and asked me to go to the Pengzhou Inn to find her. Become a father? Hearing Gui Yuemin's words, Mo Qingyun's eyes lit up. He instinctively had such a thought. Young Master Ming, congratulations! Immediately, Mo Qingyun revealed a faint smile and cupped his hands to congratulate Gui Yuemin. He said, This is a good thing. You can just go and meet that girl, why do you want me to go with you? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Gui Yuemin immediately pulled a long face and revealed a tearless smile. He said, If that's the case, then it's indeed a good thing. But I heard from others that the girl is from the Heavenly Demon Talisman stronghold and they want to capture me to be their son-in-law. How can I obey? Heavenly Demon Talisman stronghold? Hearing Gui Yuemin's words, Emo Qingyun's eyes immediately lit up. He quickly stood up and said, "Let's go, I'll accompany you to meet them." Yu agreed. Gui Yuemin's eyes widened. He was very surprised and happy at Emo Qingyun's change in attitude. He was very confused. Why did Emo Qingyun suddenly agree? But for Gui Yuemin, the most important thing was that Emo Qingyun agreed to go with him. Immediately, Emo Qingyun and Gui Yuemin did not delay any longer and immediately set off for the Pingzhou Inn. That kid is back. I have to tell the family head immediately. After a short while, when Emo Qingyun and the other two were about to leave the Ghost Moon Prefecture, a figure quietly left in the dark. Emo Qingyun and Gui Yuemin didn't notice this figure in the dark. They headed straight for the Pingzhou Inn. The Pring Boat Inn was not far from the Ghost Moon Prefecture. Emo Qingyun and Li Wuyo walked for a quarter of an hour before they arrived at the Pring Boat Inn. "Are you young Master Gui Yuemin?" As soon as Gui Yuemin arrived at the Pingzhou Inn, a young man recognized him. He walked up to greet him and said, "Miss Wenqi has been waiting in the inn for a long time. Please come with me." When the young man greeted the Ghost Moon people, he did not even look at Emo Qingyun. It was as if Emo Qingyun did not exist. Emo Qingyun did not care about this. He calmly followed behind the young man with Gui Yuemin. After a while, under the guidance of the young man, Emo Qingyun and Li Wuyo arrived at a room. The room was filled with people. Every one of them had a fierce expression. They gave off a very valiant and domineering feeling. In the middle of these people, there was a girl wearing meow clothing. Her skin was white and her eyes were big. She gave off a very lively and witty feeling. She should be Wenqi. Gui Yuemin, you are really cruel. It's been more than a year, and you didn't even visit me once. Seeing Gui Yuemin walk into the room, Wenqi showed an angry expression. She pretended to be unhappy and gave Gui Yuemin a reproachful look. Seeing Wenqi's action, Gui Yuemin was immediately shocked. He hid behind Emo Qingyun. When Gui Yuemin hid behind Emo Qingyun, a man who looked similar to Wenqi quickly walked in front of Gui Yuemin. When the man arrived in front of Gui Yuemin, he raised his hand and grabbed Gui Yuemin's collar. He lifted Gui Yuemin up and carefully sized him up. "Brother Emo, save me." Seeing the man's action, Gui Yuemin panicked and asked Emo Qingyun for help. However, Emo Qingyun didn't make a move immediately. Instead, he looked at the people in front of him indifferently. Emo Qingyun wanted to know if these people in front of him were related to the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect. Seeing Gui Yuemin ask Emo Qingyun for help, everyone looked at Emo Qingyun. For the first time, they looked at Emo Qingyun seriously. However, when they found out about Emo Qingyun's cultivation, they all showed disdain. Presumably, in their eyes, a kid at the immortal infant stage wouldn't be able to do anything. After that, everyone stopped paying attention to Emo Qingyun and placed their attention on Gui Yuemin again. Emo Qingyun didn't show any emotion in the face of their disdain and disregard. He still looked at them indifferently. "Brother, don't hurt Gui Yuemin." Seeing the man grabbing Gui Yuemin's collar, Wenqi showed a distressed expression and pleaded for Gui Yuemin. Under Wenqi's pleading, the man's face relaxed and he threw Gui Yuemin to a chair. Clang! Gui Yuemin hit the chair and it made a sound. He looked at the man in awe. At this time, Gui Yuemin guessed the man's identity. He said with a surprised expression, "You are Wenqi's brother, Wenchang?" He heard from Wenqi that there was a genius in the Heavenly Demon Talisman stronghold who reached the Great Star Realm at a young age. If it wasn't an accident, that person should be this man in front of him. "You have good eyesight, kid." Wenchang saw that Gui Yuemin recognized him and his expression became better. Bang! Wenchang stepped on the chair and put his hands on his knees. He looked at Gui Yuemin coldly and said, "Kid, for the sake of my nephew and sister, I won't teach you a lesson today. However, you must follow me to the Heavenly Demon Talisman stronghold immediately. From now on, you must listen to my sister's orders. Gui Yuemin was startled. With a bitter expression, he turned to look at Mo Qingyun. His meaning couldn't be more obvious. He was telling Mo Qingyun, "Brother Mo, save me." Seeing that Gui Yuemin turned to look at him, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. He confronted Wenchang and said, "What is the relationship between your Heavenly Demon Talisman stronghold and the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect?" "You know about the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect? Could it be that you came from the path of immortality?" Wenchang and the others were surprised. They looked at Mo Qingyun curiously and became interested in Mo Qingyun. If Mo Qingyun came from the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect, then they could be considered as one of them. That's right. Mo Qingyun didn't deny it. He nodded and admitted his origin. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Wenchang and the others were surprised. They looked at Mo Qingyun and had a good impression of him. "I haven't seen a disciple of the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect for thousands of years. I thought that the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect was destroyed. Now that I see you, I'm relieved. Kid, tell me about the current situation of the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect." After knowing Mo Qingyun's identity, Wenchang put his hand on Mo Qingyun's shoulder and asked Mo Qingyun anxiously. Seeing Wenchang's actions, Wenqi revealed a bitter expression. She complained somewhat unhappily, "Big brother, you came here today because of the matter between me and Guyu. Look at my memory." Chapter 1445. Thump, thump, thump. Just as Wenchang was about to teach Ghost Moon a lesson, the sound of hurried footsteps could be heard from outside the room. Hearing the hurried footsteps, Wenchang and the others frowned, and their expressions immediately turned grave. Could it be the 9 great immortal gates? One of them had a flustered expression, and his face turned pale, as if he was afraid of the 9 great immortal gates. Hearing this person's words, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly, and with a puzzled expression, he guessed. Could it be that the 9 great immortal gates and the Sky Demon Talisman sect also have a grudge against each other on the Wasteland continent? In Mo Qingyun's opinion, the 9 great immortal gates and the Sky Demon Talisman sect should be considered as the weakest forces on the Wasteland continent. In that case, the other major forces from the Immortal Road should have banded together to resist the suppression of the other forces. Unexpectedly, they were still the same as the Immortal Road, constantly fighting with each other. Everyone, calm down. Even if the 9 great immortal gates want to deal with us, they will have to pay a painful price. Seeing the flustered faces of the people around him, Wenchang put on a solemn expression and spoke to calm them down. Hearing Wenchang's words, everyone's expressions turned for the better, but it was still mixed with a strong sense of dread. Bam! At that moment, the door was violently smashed open, and it flew in all directions. Immediately, a group of fierce-looking people appeared in front of Mo Qingyun and the others. "Family head, it's that kid who destroyed young Master Pang Hong's body." The group of people rushed into the room, and a young man in a guard uniform pointed at Mo Qingyun behind Wenchang and the others. Seeing these people's actions, the expressions of Wenchang and the others changed, and they were all astonished. So they weren't from the 9 great immortal gates. However, even though they knew that they were not from the 9 great immortal gates, Wenchang and the others did not relax. This was because the strength of these people was much stronger than the people from the 9 great immortal gates. Their lineup was also much more terrifying. Of course, what surprised Wenchang and the others the most was that these people were looking for Mo Qingyun. It was a great honor for a lad of the immortal infant stage to attract so many true immortal stage experts to take action. "Master, what should we do now? Do you want to help that kid? That brat is just a disciple from the Immortal Road. It's not worth offending these people for him." "That's right. These people are too strong. We can't help them even if we want to." After weighing the pros and cons, The people of the Heavenly Devil Talisman stronghold all thought that they shouldn't help Mo Qingyun. Hearing the words of the people around him, Wen Chang fell silent, unable to make a decision. Mo Qingyun came from the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect, so he must know about the situation there. If Mo Qingyun was killed by these people, the line to ask about the situation of the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect would be cut off. However, if they helped Mo Qingyun, these people were too strong. They were not people they could fight against. While Wen Chang was struggling to make a decision, among the group of people at the door, an old man in a brocade robe exclaimed, "Mo Qingyun, it's you. People from the East Dawn Immortal Palace?" Seeing the old man in the brocade robe, Mo Qingyun was surprised. He was surprised to meet people from the East Dawn Immortal Palace here. Seeing Mo Qingyun and Elder Lu Ren's reaction, Pang Weisheng was surprised and asked curiously, "Elder Lu Ren, do you know this kid?" "Pang Family Village, congratulations. You've done a great service this time." Looking at Mo Qingyun, Elder Lu Ren was pleasantly surprised. He congratulated Pang Weisheng and said, "This kid killed tens of thousands of geniuses and soldiers from our 3 immortal domains in the Iron and Blood Realm Abyss. Now, all the major forces of the 3 immortal domains have joined forces to capture and kill him." "What? Mo Qingyun killed so many geniuses from the 3 immortal domains in the Iron and Blood Realm Abyss?" Hearing Elder Lu Ren's words, everyone was shocked. They didn't dare to believe it was true. If that was the case, then Mo Qingyun's actions were simply too terrifying. Brother Mo is indeed Brother Mo. Ordinary people can't compare to him. After hearing about Mo Qingyun's shocking deeds, Gui Yuemin's admiration for Mo Qingyun immediately became stronger. "This kid is actually so powerful. Looks like I've underestimated him." No wonder Gui Yuemin asked him for help. After hearing about Mo Qingyun's deeds, Wen Chang's gaze towards Mo Qingyun immediately changed greatly. Immediately, Mo Qingyun's evaluation in his heart also rose along with the tide. That kid is able to turn the factions of the 3 immortal realms upside down. He must be quite capable. Wen Chang thought to himself. Then, he revealed a regretful expression and couldn't help but sigh. If this kid is nurtured, he might become my right-hand man in the future and help me strengthen the Heavenly Devil Talisman stronghold. Unfortunately, he offended so many forces of the 3 immortal domains. What a pity. With this thought, Wen Chang made a decision. It was better not to get involved in Mo Qingyun's matters. If the Heavenly Devil Talisman stronghold got involved, it might bring disaster to the Heavenly Devil Talisman stronghold. Although he knew that the news of the Heavenly Devil Talisman stronghold was important, it was still insignificant compared to the survival of the Heavenly Devil Talisman stronghold. "Kid, so you have such shocking deeds. No wonder you dared to destroy Pang Hong's physical body." After knowing about Mo Qingyun's shocking deeds, Pang Weisheng wasn't surprised that Pang Hong's physical body had been destroyed. This was because Mo Qingyun's destruction of Pang Hong's physical body was nothing compared to the fact that he had killed the geniuses of the major forces. "Kid, this is the Elder of the East Dawn Immortal Palace. I advise you to surrender so that you won't be asking for trouble later." Pang Weisheng pointed at Lu Jiang beside him and explained his identity to Mo Qingyun. He wanted to make Mo Qingyun give up resisting. Unfortunately, he didn't understand Mo Qingyun at all. Mo Qingyun remained indifferent when he heard Pang Weisheng's words. He glanced at Lu Jiang in disdain and said, "There's no need to speak so much nonsense. It's impossible for me to surrender without a fight. If you really have the ability, then bring it on." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, his figure moved and he left the Pengzhou Inn. "Where do you think you're going?" Lu Jiang and the others didn't dare to hesitate when they saw Mo Qingyun leave the Pengzhou Inn. They hurriedly chased after Mo Qingyun. In their opinion, Mo Qingyun's current actions were to seize the opportunity to escape. Before long, the Pang clan left and flew outside the Pingzhou Inn to chase after Mo Qingyun. Boss, should we follow them? The people of the Heavenly Devil Talisman stronghold revealed inquiring expressions when they saw Mo Qingyun and the others leave. They waited for Wenchang's decision. Wenchang pondered for a moment. His expression turned solemn as he said in a deep voice, "Let's go. Let's catch up and see how capable that kid is." Soon after, the people of the Heavenly Devil Talisman stronghold left the Pingzhou Inn together. Chapter 1446. Mo Qingyun's group streaked across the sky like meteors and arrived outside Ghost Luo City in the blink of an eye. Arriving outside Ghost Luo City, Mo Qingyun stopped flying and turned to look at Lu Jiang and the rest who were chasing after him. Mo Qingyun, why aren't you running anymore? Could it be that your immortal spirit energy is running out? Looking at Mo Qingyun, who was standing in the air, Pang Weiqing revealed a smug sneer, and his eyes revealed ridicule. In his opinion, an immortal infant stage brat couldn't possibly fly at such a high intensity for a long time. Now that Mo Qingyun suddenly stopped, it was most likely that his immortal spirit energy was running out. Pang Weiqing and the rest caught up to Mo Qingyun. They no longer hesitated and immediately surrounded Mo Qingyun. When Pang Weiqing and the rest surrounded Mo Qingyun, Wenchang and the rest also caught up and stood in the distance with nervous expressions. They didn't dare to get too close, afraid that they would be involved and suffer an unexpected calamity. Seeing Pang Weiqing and the rest surround him, Mo Qingyun's expression didn't change at all. He looked at Pang Weiqing provocatively. "Whether or not my spirit energy is running out, you'll know once you try." When Mo Qingyun's words came out, Pang Weiqing's expression immediately changed and unconsciously became more serious. At this moment, he suddenly wasn't sure if Mo Qingyun's spirit energy was running out. If Mo Qingyun's spirit energy was really running out, he wouldn't be so calm and take the initiative to provoke them to attack. Could it be that this brat is deliberately being mysterious? Pang Weiqing muttered in his heart, guessing Mo Qingyun's intentions. "Patriarch, let me take care of this brat." When Pang Weiqing revealed a hesitant expression, Pangda's expression was gloomy as he took the initiative to take care of Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun crippled Pang Hong's physical body, causing his life's work to go to waste. He really couldn't take this lying down. If it wasn't for his fear of the Ghost Moon clan, he would have already attacked Mo Qingyun. He wouldn't have endured until now. "That's good too. You can go and test this kid's depth." Seeing that Pound had volunteered to deal with Mo Qingyun, Pang Weiqing showed a satisfied smile and nodded in agreement. With Pound's cultivation base at the pinnacle of the Lesser Star Realm, it would be best for him to test Mo Qingyun. After Pound probed Mo Qingyun's depth, it would be easier for them to deal with Mo Qingyun. Pound then flew towards Mo Qingyun under everyone's gaze. "Brat, you crippled my son's body. Today, I will skin you alive and pull out your tendons." Pound arrived in front of Mo Qingyun. He glared at Mo Qingyun coldly as he uttered these words in a furious tone. As soon as Pound finished speaking, he released his aura at the pinnacle of the Lesser Star Realm and crushed it towards Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun was unmoved by Pound's aura. With a sympathetic look, he said, "I really feel sorry for you for having a son like Pang Hong. It's one thing for him to cause trouble, but he actually caused you to pay with your life." Mo Qingyun couldn't help but shake his head. He glanced at Pang Weiqing and the others behind him and said, "Originally, I only crippled Pang Hong's physical body to give him a small punishment. Since he doesn't repent and wants to drag the Pang clan into a sea of fire, then don't blame me for being ruthless." Soul prison. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he didn't waste any more words with Pound and directly attacked him. A sharp soul power suddenly burst out from Mo Qingyun's left eye and turned into blood-red chains. The speed of these iron chains was extremely fast, and before Pound could react, The spiritual soul iron chains had already struck his sea of consciousness. Ah! After being hit by the soul chains, Pound screamed in agony. He was completely stunned on the spot. Seeing Pound's actions, Pang Wei-shing and the others were shocked. They hurriedly shouted at Pound with concern, "Pound, are you okay?" Unfortunately, Pound turned a deaf ear to their anxious words. He didn't react at all. Pound was now like a stone statue, standing in the air in a daze. His expression was wooden and his eyes were empty. After trapping Pound's soul with the soul prison, Mo Qingyun took out the immortal burning battle halberd and charged towards Pound. Mo Qingyun's movement speed was extremely fast. He arrived in front of Pound in the blink of an eye. Poochie! Before Pang Wei-shing and the others could react, Mo Qingyun's halberd struck Pound's head and destroyed his soul. After Mo Qingyun killed Pound, he collected Pound's body and threw it into the five-directional pagoda. Seeing this, not only were Pang Wei-shing and the others stunned, but even Wen Chong and the others were dumbfounded. Too fast. In just a few breaths of time, Pound, who was at the peak of the minor star realm, was killed by Mo Qingyun's halberd. This kid's strength is terrifying. Even if I were to attack, I wouldn't be able to kill Pound so easily. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance just now, Wen Chong's face was filled with horror. A chill rose in his heart. He couldn't help but think if he were to face Mo Qingyun's attack, would he be able to block it? After thinking for a while, Wen Chong came to a conclusion. He wasn't confident that he could block Mo Qingyun's attack. After hearing this, Wen Chong's heartbeat immediately sped up. The way he looked at Mo Qingyun changed greatly. Mo Qingyun's combat strength was actually above his. Pound is dead. Pang Wei-shing said incredulously, trying to calm down. He couldn't believe that this was true. Originally, he wanted to let Pound test Mo Qingyun first and find out how strong Mo Qingyun was. However, in the end, Mo Qingyun killed Pound with a single move. Pound's death was meaningless. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Elder Lu Ren was shocked at first. Then, he felt relieved. He smiled faintly and said, as expected of the person who killed 3 geniuses of the immortal realms, "You really can't be underestimated." Who's next? After Mo Qingyun killed Pound, he waved the immortal immolation war halberd and pointed it at Pang Wei-shing and the others. Facing Mo Qingyun's actions, the Pang family members lowered their heads in guilt, not daring to meet Mo Qingyun's gaze. They were afraid. They didn't want to end up like Pound, who had been instantly killed by Mo Qingyun in a fight. "Didn't you want to kill me? How come you're all acting like cowards when I'm standing here?" Seeing the Pang family members lower their heads, not daring to meet his gaze, Mo Qingyun laughed. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the Pang family members were furious, but they still didn't dare to fight Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun, don't go too far. Seeing the Pang family's actions, Pang Wei-shing's face turned ashen. He cursed the Pang family members in his heart. "So what if I go too far? If you don't agree, you can step forward." Mo Qingyun's attitude was still unyielding. He used an overbearing attitude to provoke Pang Wei-shing again. Chapter 1447. Arrogant brat, don't think you can be so arrogant just because you killed Pound. Under Mo Qingyun's overbearing aura, Pang Wei-shing finally couldn't bear it any longer and roared, "This old man wants to see just how capable you are to dare be so arrogant." Pang Wei-shing roared and walked out of the crowd, ready to deal with Mo Qingyun. Seeing Pang Wei-shing walk out of the crowd, the Pang family members immediately sharpened their blade. "The Patriarch will definitely kill this brat and make him die a graveless death. The Patriarch is a major star realm pinnacle powerhouse. Pound can't compare to him. This brat will soon regret his actions. Patriarch, kill this brat and let him know the consequences of offending our Pang family." The Pang family members cheered from the side. The gap between a major star realm pinnacle powerhouse and a minor star realm pinnacle powerhouse is huge. Can Mo Qingyun withstand it? Wen Chang looked worried when he saw Pang Weisheng was going to deal with Mo Qingyun. He was sweating for Mo Qingyun in his heart. Under everyone's watchful eyes, Pang Weisheng arrived in front of Mo Qingyun after a few flashes and took out a dagger to stab at Mo Qingyun. Immortal art, death flame heavenly slayer. Pang Weisheng brandished the dagger and released a terrifying immortal spiritual force that turned into a dark flaming dagger light. When this dark black flaming saber light was formed, it emitted a cold aura that made people feel a sense of despair. Everyone's expression changed again when they saw Pang Weisheng's attack. They were amazed by the power of Pang Weisheng's attack. What a powerful immortal art! I'm afraid it's at the ancient grade. The Patriarch has completely mastered the death immortal art. His strength is now infinitely close to the constellation realm. That kid Mo Qingyun is dead for sure. He'll be blasted into nothingness by the Patriarch's blade. Sensing the power of Pang Weisheng's blade, the Pang family members were all excited. It was as if they could see Mo Qingyun being killed. At this moment, while the crowd was still shocked by the power of Pang Weisheng's blade, a huge figure appeared beside Mo Qingyun. As soon as this huge figure appeared, it exuded the aura of a peak greater star realm cultivator. It moved to block Pang Weisheng's attack. A terrifying and violent spiritual energy blasted out from the palm of the giant figure, heading towards the dark blade light. Bang! A loud sound rang out in the air. Immediately after, a terrifying spiritual energy storm raged in the air. Under the influence of this storm, Mo Qingyun and Pang Weisheng hurriedly retreated to avoid the impact of this storm. A moment later, the storm dissipated. Mo Qingyun and Pang Weisheng's silhouettes once again appeared in front of everyone's eyes, facing each other in the air from 10,000 meters away. Mo Qingyun is fine? Also, what is that huge figure standing beside Mo Qingyun at this moment? Seeing the ghost beside Mo Qingyun, everyone was shocked. They were very surprised by this scene. The giant figure beside Mo Qingyun seems to be a ghost at the peak of the great star realm. Recognizing the ghost beside Mo Qingyun, Wen Chang was shocked. He said in surprise, "I didn't expect Mo Qingyun to have such a thing by his side. No wonder he dares to ignore the Pang family's revenge. If our heavenly devil talisman stronghold also had such a ghost guarding us, we wouldn't have to fear the 9 great immortal gates." Hearing Wen Chang's surprised words, a middle-aged man from the heavenly devil talisman stronghold showed an envious expression. A peak greater star realm ghost? Lu Xian was shocked. He also didn't expect Mo Qingyun to have a ghost guarding him. However, he soon showed a relieved expression. The doubt in his heart had been answered. He muttered to himself, "So Mo Qingyun has such a thing by his side. No wonder the genius disciples of the 3 great immortal domains all died in his hands." In Elder Lu Xian's heart, he attributed all the credit of Mo Qingyun killing the disciples of the 3 great immortal domains to the ghost. It seemed that this was the only explanation that made sense. A peak greater star realm ghost? Pang Weisheng was shocked. He also didn't expect this situation. However, after a short moment of surprise, Pang Weisheng's face turned cold. He snorted angrily, "Humph! It's just a small ghost. It can't save you." "Is that so?" Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. He looked at Pang Weisheng with a mocking expression and said, "If 1 isn't enough, then 2. If 2 still isn't enough, then 3." As Mo Qingyun said this, peak greater star realm ghosts were moved out of the 5-directional pagoda one after another. Seeing more and more ghosts appear, the surrounding people's mouths opened wider and wider. They were scared silly by the scene in front of them. In just a short moment, the number of greater star realm ghosts around Mo Qingyun had reached more than 30. They didn't know what kind of fighting strength this was. More importantly, looking at Mo Qingyun's current posture, The number of ghosts under his control seemed to be more than this. Impossible. How could a brat at the immortal infant stage control such a ghost at the peak of the great star realm? Pang Weiqing kept shaking his head. He couldn't believe this scene was real. If this scene was real, then their Tang family had offended Mo Qingyun. Their end was basically foreseeable. Thinking of this, Pang Weiqing's eyes were filled with fear. He turned his head to look at Lu Jiang behind him and asked for help. Elder Lu Jiang, please help me. Help me kill this kid. Pang Weiqing knew very well that Lu Jiang was the only one present who could suppress so many specters at the peak of the major star rank. Hearing Pang Weiqing's request for help, Elder Lu Jiang didn't just stand by and watch. He slowly walked forward. After a while, Elder Lu Jiang came to Pang Weiqing's side. He stared coldly at Mo Qingyun and said, Mo Qingyun, since you can make me do it personally today, you can die with honor. As soon as Elder Lu Jiang finished speaking, he released the aura of a constellation realm expert. Old man, don't forget to flatter yourself. In my eyes, you're not much different from them. Under the pressure of Elder Lu Jiang's aura, Mo Qingyun didn't show the slightest fear. Suddenly, a strong battle intent burst out. After this battle intent burst out, Mo Qingyun was enveloped by a golden light. He was like an unyielding god of war. What a strong battle intent! Could it be that Mo Qingyun wanted to fight Elder Lu Jiang? Sensing Mo Qingyun's battle intent, the surrounding people's expressions changed. They were very surprised by Mo Qingyun's performance. A person at the immortal infant stage actually wanted to fight a constellation realm expert. Wasn't this like an egg hitting a rock? You actually want to resist? Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Elder Lu Jiang curled his lips in disdain. He said coldly, if that's the case, then I'll play with you until you're convinced. I've never killed a constellation realm expert. Today, let me start. Chapter 1448. The Fusion Gate. In order to ensure his safety, Mo Qingyun first used the Fusion Gate and raised his cultivation base to the level of a large star. He had no choice. Lu Jiang was too strong, so he had to be careful. If by any chance he was suddenly insta-killed by Lu Jiang before he had the time to execute his divine ability, then he would want to cry but have no tears. Of course, such a situation would not happen. With Mo Qingyun's physical strength, it was not easy for him to be killed. Moreover, Mo Qingyun's body contained the Genesis bloodline. As long as his original body and clone were not destroyed at the same time, he could reassemble his body and revive in a short period of time. A flashing door of light appeared above Mo Qingyun at an extremely fast speed, enveloping him and a ghostly being. Then, Mo Qingyun fused with the ghost and quickly became one with the ghost. When Mo Qingyun merged with the ghost, the aura he emitted also rose rapidly. Early star realm, middle star realm, late star realm, peak star realm. In a short period of time, Mo Qingyun's cultivation rose from the immortal infant stage to the peak star realm. Peak star realm. Sensing the change in Mo Qingyun's aura, Wenchang was so scared that his knees went soft and he almost fell down. He had to admit that Mo Qingyun's current performance had scared him quite a bit. Just a moment ago, he was still a junior in the immortal infant stage. In the blink of an eye, his cultivation had surpassed his. This huge reversal of status was difficult for him to accept in a short period of time. At this moment, it was not only Wenchang who was shocked. The others who saw this were also shocked. What kind of divine ability is this? It can increase one's cultivation like this. That Mo Qingyun's cultivation has increased so much all of a sudden. Can his body bear it? I suspect that Mo Qingyun's physical strength has at least reached the level of a top-grade monarch weapon. His physical strength is comparable to a monarch weapon. Is he still human? Even a golden immortal realm expert can't compare to him, right? Seeing Emo Qingyun's performance, the way everyone looked at him instantly underwent a huge change. Who the hell is this kid? There are actually so many divine abilities? Seeing Emo Qingyun's performance, Pang Weiqing was shocked. He tried to guess Emo Qingyun's background. In his opinion, for a kid at the immortal infant stage to have mastered so many powerful techniques, his background must be extraordinary. Although he had heard from Lu Jiang that Emo Qingyun had killed the genius disciples of the various forces in the three immortal realms, he did not know Emo Qingyun's true identity. Great Star Pinnacle? Lu Jiang's eyes narrowed slightly, revealing a fanatical look. He revealed a greedy expression as he thought to himself, this Emo Qingyun actually knows how to raise his cultivation level by fusing with ghosts. If I also know this method, wouldn't I be able to look down on all the heroes in the three immortal domains in the future? The more Lu Jiang thought about it, the more excited he became. The greedy expression on his face became even more intense. His eyes could not wait to devour Emo Qingyun. Thinking of this, Lu Jiang revealed a smug sneer and said with a sinister smile, Emo Qingyun, this old man will give you a chance to live. As long as you tell me the divine ability to raise your cultivation level, not only will this old man not kill you today, but I will also take you as my personal disciple. How about it? Elder Lu Jiang, you can't. Hearing Lu Jiang's words, Pang Weiqing immediately panicked and tried to persuade Lu Jiang. What a joke! If Emo Qingyun became Lu Jiang's disciple, the Pang clan would be even more finished. No, he must stop Lu Jiang. For the sake of the Pang clan's foundation, he could not allow this to happen. Oh, is that so? The corners of Emo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly, revealing a playful smile. He glanced at the Pang clan and said, since you want to take me as your disciple, shouldn't you take care of these enemies in front of me for me? Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, Lu Jiang's expression changed slightly, and his eyes narrowed even more. Immediately, his body emitted a chilling aura as he turned to look at Pang Weiqing and the others. Elder Lu Jiang, please don't. Seeing Lu Jiang looking at them, Pang Weiqing and the others were so frightened that their faces turned pale. They kept shaking their heads and begging for mercy. With Lu Jiang's terrifying cultivation level, if he wanted to attack them, they would definitely die. Whoosh! Pang Weiqing and the others were terrified and begging Lu Jiang. Suddenly, Lu Jiang's figure flashed and disappeared in front of Pang Weiqing and the others. Following that, everyone saw an afterimage rushing toward Emo Qingyun at high speed. I knew you would play tricks, old dog. Seeing Lu Jiang's actions, Emo Qingyun showed a disdainful expression and mocked Lu Jiang. Teleportation Gate. Just as Emo Qingyun was mocking Lu Jiang, a whirlpool-like light gate instantly formed in front of him. As soon as the whirlpool-like light gate formed, Emo Qingyun's figure flashed and directly rushed into the light gate. Then, everyone saw the light gate shrink rapidly and disappear from their sight in the blink of an eye. When the whirlpool-like light gate disappeared, Emo Qingyun's figure also disappeared. He just disappeared into thin air. Damn brat, he actually knows this kind of superpower. Seeing Emo Qingyun disappear, Lu Jiang's face was filled with hatred. He was so angry that he gritted his teeth. In his opinion, if he let Emo Qingyun escape this time, his chance to dominate the three immortal realms was completely cut off. There was no other way. The wasteland continent was vast. Who knew where Emo Qingyun would run to? With his power, it was as difficult as finding a needle in a haystack to find Emo Qingyun in the wasteland continent. Old dog, you want to be my master? Take a piss and look at yourself. Emo Qingyun used the teleportation gate to escape to the other side of the sky and mocked Elder Lu Jiang. However, he was not the slightest bit angered by Elder Lu Ren's mockery toward Emo Qingyun. You didn't run away. Not only that, but Elder Lu Jiang also smiled brightly when he saw that Emo Qingyun hadn't left. In his opinion, as long as Emo Qingyun hadn't left, he still had a chance to obtain the superpower from Mo Qingyun. I haven't killed you yet. How can I leave? In response to Elder Lu Zhang's words, Mo Qingyun immediately replied with a cold expression. Blood Qi Berserk, God of War Transformation. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he didn't say anything else. Instead, he used the two superpowers to increase his cultivation. With the support of the two superpowers, Mo Qingyun's aura immediately rose again. His aura is still rising. Sensing the change in Mo Qingyun's aura, Pang Weiqing was so scared that his hands and feet turned cold. His expression couldn't stop trembling. If Mo Qingyun's cultivation continued to rise, wouldn't he reach the constellation realm? In that case, would Elder Lu Jiang, who was also at the constellation realm, still have the confidence to kill Mo Qingyun? You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.